Greetings, and welcome everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim. I use he/him pronouns, and this is the start of the second volume of our campaign of Masks, set in the fictional city of Doctropolis. Masks is a game by Brendan Conway and is powered by the Apocalypse. I play a character called Null, or Skylar Hagen. He is the Beacon, and he also uses he/him pronouns. And I have completely forgotten what order I do this in. I think it's different every time, but I'm just going to do the mundane thing and just go counterclockwise as I see it on the screen. Unless Mole wants to go first, in which case we'll let Mole go first. Okay, no.
It's powered by now, people. It's powered by now.
Oh, duh. I see what you did there. Ah ha ha. Ah ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
That was good though. Let's go ahead. Oh, joy.
Losing it already, guys. Way to go.
No. All right. Now, our job here, as I see it, is to distract from all that for at least a little while. So let us go ahead and start off our introductions with Kat. Hello.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm at Cleric of Cord. I play Meta Warp, the Nova playbook, and I'm really interested to see what's going to happen over these 6 months.
Yes, definitely.
And stay tuned for an announcement about Friday.
Yes, we'll have some announcements going on a little toward the end.
Assuming we make it to Friday.
Assuming we make it to Friday, yes, that's right. But all things considered. But let us now move around to Pepper. Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name's Pepper. You can find me on Twitter. 4815. I use they them pronouns. I am playing Puck, the delinquent who also uses they them pronouns. And I am very excited to see how this develops because I have a move from a different playbook in mind. And I want to see what happens in the 6 months and see if I can justify taking it.
Yes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We actually, for those who may not be aware of what we're referring to, there's a 6 month gap between volumes 1 and 2, and so we're trying to figure out what happens during that time. And we will be doing that very soon. But first, let us go around to Wally. Hello.
Well, hello. It's your boy Wally with he/him pronouns. I play Ezekiel Moore, aka Phobos, the protege playbook. I am very excited to see what goes on in this 6 month time skip because, much like Pepper, I have a move I want to take for Zeke, and it really depends on what goes down in these 6 months.
Excellent. And now over to Thtrnerd. Hello.
Hi, my name is Thtrnerd. I use they them pronouns. Just to be confusing, my character Mika, also known as Twilight, lost my train of thought. Also known as Twilight, uses she/her pronouns. There we go. Spit it out. I'm in the middle of switching playbooks because Mika's a star now.
I'm a shining star. I'm who you are. Tell me what you need. Can you grow to be shining star for you to see what you like this to maybe shining star for you to see. Okay. I've been sitting on that for quite some time.
Awesome. And now let us.
Apparently, it's the musical episode.
It is apparently.
Oh God!
Oh man! I can't wait for that one.
No!
My God! Look at the time.
D&D with Twitch things. Just saying, it's a thing.
Well, let's. Let me now turn things over to the gentleman whose job I do not currently envy, as it appears we're only a few minutes in, and we're already an entire madhouse. Let us send things over to Mole. Hello.
Good evening. I'm Mole Thulu, aka Mole. I'm pronoun ambivalent, although they, them is probably the most appropriate. I play everybody else, and it has been 6 days and 20 hours since I last had a cigarette. So bear with me this evening.
Good for you, Mo. Proud of you.
Proud of you, Mo.
Yesterday was the toughest so far. Which means you'll also probably see me with these quite a bit tonight. Chocolates. It's an Antan in the chat. Sorry. It's been a while since I've seen him in chat. Okay. So, as we left things off, you had managed to free a large quantity of team captives that had a latent gene activated, allowing them to become superpowered. You freed them, except for 3 who disappeared because they were like on guard duty. Malum, Ventus, and Bob. What's Bob's real name?
I don't think we ever found that one's real name, did we?
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
You did, but on a meta level, you didn't find out in character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nihilin.
Okay.
His name is Nihilin. Basically, Malum was the red demonic dude. Ventus was the one that was doing the wind stuff, surprising, and Nihilin was the one that was negating your powers.
I wasn't a fan of him.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, they all went through a weird shadowy portal and escaped. After that, the information from the project was discovered, unhacked, as a result of which the mayor got put into a bad light and lost their bid for re-election against Twilight. As a result, the old Twilight, Rana Kobach, is now mayor of New Eden, and the very last pages of Volume 1 was somebody standing in the old mayor's prison cell telling them that by morning they'd believe they'd done it all just like everybody else, with the heavy implication that the old mayor was in fact innocent. Yes, in true comic book style.
I should have seen that coming.
Oh, well, at some point you got to get to the actual big bad.
Yep.
Eventually.
I thought about actually making a supervillain who calls himself the Big Bad.
That's a pretty good one.
And just make them useless. You know
That
what I
is
mean?
pretty good. That or a supervillain called Red Herring.
Oh, I love it.
I really want to make a superhero now that's called Red Herring.
I want to watch Clue now.
Me too. That movie still holds up.
It's very rare that an 80s comedy holds up in 2020.
Super
Who
rare.
does?
Super rare. 80s comedy still hold up.
But yeah, great film. But yeah, they mentioned Red Herring is quite a bit of that.
Oh, yes.
Mostly the line is, the communism was a red herring. I think is the line that they tend to just only use in that. But yes. So what we're going to do this evening is a variation of a session 0, where we're going to go over what happened in the 6 months. We're going to flesh out the city a little bit more. We're going to add some more of the other heroes that are in the city. We're going to add some more to the villains that are in the city, and figure out, some things that have happened to the group, either as individuals or as a group, in that time. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Does anybody have any ideas of something cool that could have happened in that time?
I have one idea.
Okay.
So it was an idea for an antagonist, not a villain, but more of an antagonist, So because now that the Rebels are officially like known as a team of heroes by the public and was endorsed by the new mayor, I feel like that they have an antagonist in basically like a news like a news radio style pundit who views them.
You want your
as-
own Gordon Godfrey.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Like someone
I
who's
like
just
it.
like part of the media and they are totally against them. And they're the ones that coined the phrase for them, the rebels.
And they took it on as a moniker just to fuck them.
Yeah.
I love it.
Could Twilight have a hate group? Like
I mean,
people
Well,
that just despise them?
anybody who's a star has people that loves them and has people that hates them.
Okay, cool. I feel like that would fit in with the like Alex
your own-
Jones of our universe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because now that Twilight is like you are the star playbook and everything, you're so in the limelight even more so. You now have there's like this one person out there just like utterly does not like you and in their favor also does not like us, because it's like we're a bunch of kids who are supposed to be the heroes of the city when like the real heroes are still out there. We don't know where they're at and everything. They just drop the job onto us and they just view us as like inexperienced, that we should not be doing this. So they're always constantly like ragging on us
Well,
at any given time.
What if Twilight has somebody who
It's because you're too
their
busy with
online
avocado
troll?
toast.
Yes. Yeah, we're too busy with our avocado toasts and
Um,
everything.
Twilight
millennials.
endorses avocados. Thank you very much.
But what if Twilight? It's not so much like a hate group or anything like that. It is what it is a it's that one online troll, that person that follows them to all the social media sites and has to slam them and has to twist things.
I already know who that is.
Ooh. Ooh. Nice.
Okay, I'm going to reveal them and say that you've come across them. But you know how a few weeks, must have been at least a month ago now, I said that I'd made up a character, and for their real name, I put into Google, what is the whitest name ever?
Chad.
There is a villain who goes by the moniker of Fanboy.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I love
I
it.
love him.
I love it so much.
He's kind of inspired by in Teen Titans, you got Control Freak.
Yeah. I know exactly.
It's
what you're
kind of
talking
inspired by him if you've watched the Teen Titans series, the original animated one.
about. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Look him up otherwise, because he was created for that show. But basically, Fanboy has psychic constructs at his ability, and pretty much he's such a fanboy of superheroes and nerd culture. If he can think of it in nerd culture, he can do it with his psychic powers.
Oh, dude, that's dangerous.
That's dangerous, but so awesome at the same time.
I
It's like a
wanna be
perfect
this
villain for
guy.
that.
He is such a gatekeeping troll.
I like it.
I really
like
want to
it.
know what his real name is, but it's okay.
His real name, I'll tell you out of character, is Hunter Maxwell.
Oh my god. As someone who grew up in stereotypical white suburbia, like in the valley with the capital V, do you know how many hunters I knew growing up?
Oh gosh, that's such a white name.
Right.
Like I said, in order to get his real name, I did literally Google the whitest name ever.
God, that is such a white name. Oh man. I like to think that Hunter Maxwell is definitely a follower of this Alex Jones, Gordon Godfrey style guy.
Okay, so we need a name for your. Okay, first off, what we need to know is he doing this for ratings, or does he have a legitimate beef against you? Is he normal / or is he actually powered? These are all questions that I'm opening up to as the group.
I think this is like how I feel. You guys can like totally like either yes and it or no but it. I think that he would be a mundane. It's just that he's totally mundane. It's just that he's been doing this for such a long time. Like, he's been reporting the news for such a long time.
Oh, here's a question: is he a reporter or is he a talking head?
He's a talking head. Totally a talking head. Yeah, totally
here's,
talking head.
Here's a thing on him though. He's a talking head who thinks of himself as an investigative journalist type. He's going to do. He's the one that does all the exposés.
So he's like Glenn Beck or Alex Jones.
Yeah.
That's how he pictures himself. So he was working on something about the mayor, and perhaps was at that press conference, and feels like his thunder was stolen. He was working this expose of the mayor. Something was wrong and blah blah, and we took that away from him. He couldn't publish it now, or he couldn't do his grandiose expose because
we just fucking outed it.
Yeah, we did it before he did anything. Like, he had like this long, big, like hour-long special about it.
Yeah, and he was working on. He was getting ready to blow the lid off the thing, and then this group of kids comes along.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah.
Get away! I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Yeah, like
So
we totally. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of pushed him over, and so he's now he's dedicated himself to digging into our pasts and our mentors' past. So he's digging into Midnight's past, and he's digging into Metawarp's family and Skylar's family, and so all of that, there's all of that going on with families as well, trying to dig up all of this dirt.
Yeah.
I'll say one of the things that he has said is, at least they got rid of that criminal Mika Hutchinson.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ow!
I like to think that when that episode happened,
because people don't know that Twilight is Mika. You've got the whole illusory thing going on, so you've got the secret identity.
I like to think when that episode happened, they were all watching it on TV, and it's like
he might have said, that criminal Black Raven.
Yeah. And like everybody, they were all watching because like I think they all hate watch him because they.
Oh yeah, they make Puck makes a big poll of like puppy chow, like the Chex Mix with all the goodies.
And they just hate watch it. And the day he said that on camera, they were all like, "This motherfucker!" And they all like got up and decided it took Skylar a lot to talk them down from just outright pranking that building in the worst possible way.
I feel this would probably be the case, yes.
I think Skylar and Puck probably went ahead and did something, just didn't make it as obvious as it was.
Probably went in and messed up their just something subtle things, messing up like their chirons, so that sometimes that their messages going across the bottom of the screen will sometimes say other things than what they want.
You went in and changed
reset everybody's password.
Changed his email signature to "Please send nudes."
Yeah, things like that.
Reset everybody's passwords.
Yeah, just basically, just.
I think we need a name.
Okay, so we're gonna need a name.
Yeah, we need a good name for this guy.
It's like a name name in.
Not like a white name though. It has to be a name that's like. It has to be an alliteration.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
Yeah.
It has to be an alliteration of sorts.
Carlton.
Chesapeake.
Carlton Chesapeake Connors.
Oh,
that just made my skin crawl.
Ooh, I like it. That's good.
Nice and pretentious.
Yeah, a Carlton Chesapeake Bay Connors.
Oh, I did spell it right. How's that for the non-American?
Yeah. Oh, but that's his thing, though. He came from America here to Doctropolis.
Oh, man. Puck is going to have some words with him.
Like, he came from America to Doctropolis.
Well, in this world, it's probably a case when it comes to the news. New Eden is probably the place.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not New York or Washington or whatever. It's probably New Eden. Yeah, is the place.
And like, I think like the news network is like ENN, Eden News Network. is definitely the news.
Well, no, I'm thinking this is probably more your Fox equivalent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
where he can
would
get
definitely
away with being so
Yeah.
blatantly biased.
Yeah, he's definitely on like the Fox News.
It's technically an
equivalent.
entertainment company. It's not actually a news company.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Bobcat Entertainment,
Oh, I like
Bobcat News.
yeah.
That fits.
That fits.
I don't like this guy, and I don't know if it's me or
They
if
keep-
it's Mika. Or if
Good.
it's
The fact that we don't like him is perfect.
They have this mascot they keep trying to get adopted by various sports teams, and it just doesn't work out. But they still send them to the parades and everything. It's
Yeah, I like this guy. I like him and I really hate him at the same time.
Okay, cool.
they keep wanting
That's
to get into
definitely-
fights with the Bobcat, but it's,
So he is, he's definitely a bad guy in terms of the comic books, but he's on a different level of battlefield to what you're used to playing on.
yeah.
He's more
Yeah,
like
definitely.
the thorn in the side of us instead of the like bad guy we have to go and fight.
Yeah, because we can't just punch him.
Yeah.
But think about
I
it.
feel
way.
like the people that are the real problem are the ones that listen to him.
Yeah.
Well,
But
no,
this
you
is the guy
probably
who's
find
gonna-
that he's actually a fan of the Blue Line.
Yep.
He
Oh,
does.
oh,
He's-
totally.
Oh, yeah.
He says the Blue Line is not a criminal.
Yeah.
He's a vigilante.
Oh, he's
There's
100% a
difference.
fan of the blue light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for him, there's a major difference between a criminal and a vigilante.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
This is the guy that-
vigilantes.
This guy's dangerous because this is the guy who has the experience and the wherewithal to try and unmask Twilight, to try and unmask Phobos, to unmask
Mhm.
Midnight.
Mhm.
There, he's going after us and he's going after our families. He's digging for dirt.
Yeah. And I think he also has so much experience reporting superhero culture
Mm-hmm.
that he knows what to say, what to do.
Oh.
And
How to
like,
twist it. Yep.
and heaven help us if we ever agreed to an interview with him.
Oh no.
I also feel as though there's
Puck
probably
kind of wants to though.
He has the blue line on though every now and again as a special guest.
Oh yeah, totally. I think
Yeah.
ooh, even more so. He has like his show, Blue Line always calls in. And when he sees that the Blue Line calls, he instantly sends him to the front of the queue.
yeah.
And there will always be like a 20-minute segment just dedicated to whatever phone call they have.
Well, something I realized is that if he notices that just based on our exploits that Null doesn't have powers, he might actually be trying to do something to drive a wedge between Null and the rest of the team.
Good luck,
because-
Buster.
yeah.
Because it's like, oh no, he would just be a vigilante if he wasn't sticking around with these damn self-appointed superheroes.
I really it's even more so is that he tries to make Null looks like some kind of like scapegoat in that this is what happens when you let teenagers get away with everything.
Yeah, probably.
Like that kind of thing. Like he like views Null as like this is what happens when you let teenagers get away with everything. They join these hero groups. Like this kid could die, this kid could this and that. He is obviously going down the wrong path in life, kind of thing.
They probably didn't get too much on that until I hacked the network, and then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, damn it.
Oh, I like that guy. I like this guy.
I like him too.
I don't like this guy. I really wish he would go die in a hole.
See, I like
so
him
much.
because I like the fact that we don't like him.
Yes, exactly. There's
The whole you don't like him as you don't like him, but from a
But
Yes.
story perspective.
I'm
Yeah.
enjoying
Yeah.
my hate.
Yes.
I
From the
feel
meta,
like
it's great.
Yeah.
most of my hate comes from my dislike of Alex Jones because that's the image of him I have in my head is Alex Jones's face. But
No, I am definitely thinking along the lines of Tim Curry's portrayal of Gordon Godfrey in Young Justice.
Oh my gosh, he was so perfect
Yes.
too. Like
He was
he
so good.
the way he because Tim Curry has that way he twists his voice when he's trying to like take the knife and stick it to you and twist it. That's what his voice can be like. It's like taking a knife and just stabs it in you and twists it, and that's how he talks, and it's so great.
I'm taking it one further. The voice in my head for playing this is James Spader.
Yes.
Yes,
oh my
perfect.
God.
Yes,
Oh,
perfect.
and that's a
That's
face
good
claim for
casting.
him too. I think
So
that's
he's middle-aged. I love it.
Are we talking James Spader from Boston Legal or James Spader from the Blacklist?
I am thinking James
Blacklist.
Spader Blacklist because it's like this, and like the thing is, he never, because this is even better. He never gets upset. He never loses his cool. He doesn't like
Never raises his voice.
He never
always
does.
Dressed impeccably.
Very calm. Because like when you watch Gordon Godfrey would like pin it to you and say you did this, but like this guy Chesapeake Bay, he is very chill in everything he does, and that's how he gets people. That's how he exposes people.
He's perfectly happy there to just sit there in silence and wait for you to actually answer the question.
Yes.
Oh my
and I
God.
think that's what he had planned for the mayor. He had this big expose like interview ready for the mayor to expose her hard, but the thing is that we jumped to it. It pissed him off so much.
Cool.
Ooh, I like this.
I like this. But yeah, no, I mean, Jay Spader, he's just got one of those voices you just cannot help but listen to every single word he says.
Yeah.
I personally, I know a lot of people knock Age of Ultron.
Nope.
And I'd probably agree with people if it wasn't James Spader
Yep.
as the voice of
If
Ultron.
it wasn't James Spader for Ultron, I would totally
Good.
hate the movie altogether. But if because of James Spader as Ultron, because he was so robotic, but he had this sass to him that was James Spadery, that was just perfect. And yeah, he made Ultron perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that picture actually in the Twitch chat.
It's a good image. It's a good image.
It's a very good image for him.
I need to see the.
I mean, especially
Blacklist.
with that hat and the
Chance
trench coat,
to-
it also fits the aesthetic that we've got
Yeah.
with the city.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah,
does.
that's
fit
why I
him.
chose it.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to punch his face.
Okay, so that's one bad guy. Let's talk about a good guy. Either someone who's from a previous generation that's come in, become active again, or it could be somebody new.
Now, if folks want, I finally found this. I have a list of heroes and villains left over from when I did a Necessary Evil campaign ages ago, so I can conceivably throw in bunches of things from that if we are stuck for an idea.
You should take one of those names and we should just like go.
We're really good at just starting with a seed of an idea and going.
Yeah, we are very good at that.
Well, that's the thing. Is, what I'm trying to do is just throw things out. Okay, so let's say something happened fairly soon after the release of when you freed the people. We'll say that group that you faced were spotted in town. Up to no good. They were trying to rob an armored. Basically, they were ripping ATMs out of the wall in a small shopping district because they needed cash. When you arrived, though, they were already fighting this hero.
It was one of the other street kids that they didn't think had taken on powers, but they were latent, showed up later. So, and I want to say older.
Everybody that was kidnapped was a teenager.
Okay.
It's just that you hooked into it because that was the easiest way for you guys to find out about it because of the homeless population.
I have a suggestion of someone, a teenager. It could be if we want to go with it being a teenager.
Oh.
It could be Colin from Mika's martial arts studio.
Oh, I like that.
Up until this point, his powers hadn't shown.
Well, it depends whether you want him to be one of the kidnapped ones because he wasn't kidnapped. You had a conversation with him just before you went and rescued them.
Well, I guess I was suggesting it as it doesn't.
I'd say it depends.
Someone
It depends whether you want him to be one of the rescued ones or not. Is what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm gonna take that it was Colin, right? And I remember that when Mika had a conversation with Colin was kind of like dodgy, I want to say. I'm not sure if it was dodgy. They were very the way they were. I may be remembering it wrong, but they were just very dodgy in the way they were talking to them. And the instant that comes to mind is the Janus playbook. Like, what if this entire time they were considering becoming a masked hero? They were considering going out this entire time. But then that conversation that Mika had with them that last day kind of like just made him go like, look, the world is dangerous. We need people out there. And like it was a very like, a very Spider-Man-esque moment with great power comes great responsibility kind of thing. Because they always had this power. And it was like one of those powers that's like, when you think about it, it's not really a great power, but when you use it right, it is really, really useful as a crime fighter kind of power.
Okay. MC Universe, MCU. The stupid blonde kid had a kick-ass girlfriend.
Iron Fist.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, they're just an amazing martial artist, and they have the ability to channel energy into their fists.
Yeah, they can channel true chi.
Yeah, that's their ability.
What do you think?
Yeah, what about something like that? Like, because they were always studying martial arts, but they never really like applied it. They figured they could apply it to crime fighting, but then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do this. And they're very much like a Janus, where that they don't want anyone to know who they are, especially Mika.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
Colin is tribute. I mean,
we are going to need a superhero name.
Oh, this is always the hardest part.
Yeah.
I got it. I'll come up with
It's
one.
especially hard coming up with Kung Fu hero's name that isn't racially insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now look at. See, do we want an animal themed thing like some sort of bird or insect or?
Kitsune?
Raptor Enchanter. I don't know. I just felt like reading that one off the list.
Kitsune's good.
Which one's that again?
Kitsune are
fox
the
demon.
foxes with the tails.
Yeah.
Their spirit.
Oh. Ooh,
Yeah, I knew which area it was. I was
Yeah.
just trying to remember exactly.
Oh, how about this? Because they always looked up to Black Raven, they call themselves Tengu, which are crow demons.
I like it.
Ooh.
And with the crow type makeup too.
Yeah, they don't even wear crows. They wear like this wooden mask that looks like a crow's face and it sits on top of their face.
Or you,
Yeah, I reckon they're probably calling them Tengu, but I don't think the traditional Tengu mask.
No, not the
No.
traditional Tengu mask. They're like with the
But-
big nose and everything.
with the
like-
Jason Lee Crow makeup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's something like that.
Okay.
I like
Yeah,
that.
I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think he knew Mika as a villain. I think they met up after Mika.
You probably knew of your villain past.
Yeah.
I think we
'Cause you had a
probably
lot of
talked
conversations
about
with
the
him.
past.
And
But
I think, like you probably talked, and he knew that you were Black Raven, and that's why he took the name Tengu. Because especially since Black Raven is now suddenly gone, he felt like I need to fill that void up.
ooh, I like that. Even though he knows that Mika's Twilight, but
There has to be a bird-themed character. Always.
There has to be one
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, but I mean, but he's on the side of good too. He's an ally.
Oh, he's total ally. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's not a villain. He's a hero.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to say that at the moment, he's Peter Parkering it. He's just trying to look after his neighborhood.
I like that.
Yeah, he's just micromanaging that 3-block radius.
I was just thinking of that Tumblr post where you have all the various, you have Superman taking care of the universe, you have Star-Lord managing the galaxy, you have Doctor Strange managing all the various planes of existence, and then there's Daredevil micromanaging the shit out of 3 blocks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he is. And he's very much Daredevil in the way he is, because he only operates at night, and he is super quiet, and he just beats the crap out of people.
And gets the crap beat out of him now.
Yeah,
Too.
because he's a scrub. He's still new at this. So he gets the crap beat out of him. But man, he will beat the crap out of people. There was probably one of those moments where he had a hallway scene kind of thing where he's holding his side, going down the hallway, beating up people left and right, all because he overestimated what he was getting into.
Okay, well, the Janus playbook, which is what we're going with, you get 2 unique abilities. And out of that list, I'm going to say the ones that make sense, the most sense with what we're talking about here is impossible mobility, probably in a very parkour-ish style manner.
Because my mind is hilarious.
And-
my mind immediately went toward Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and just being able to disconnect your joints, what I can do. Sorry.
Oh, totally. I totally see him doing that.
And supernatural senses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Basically,
I like
he can be, he is pretty much aware of absolutely everything that occurs within, I'd say, this is his main power is that he's 100% aware of absolutely everything that happens from a 30-foot radius.
So there's this ability that
tremor sense. He's got a tremor sense and all of that kind of stuff.
So
It's
I mean,
not
he
just
can even
theory
tell.
inside.
He might not be able to see through it, but he can tell if there's some sort of magical illusion in front of him.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. It's
And it's it's kind of like what how that reflex, that muscle reflex we have, where even though we're not looking at a set of stairs, we know how to walk down the stairs properly. He has that, but times 100. He doesn't have to think to move. He will just do it, and he knows exactly where he needs to land properly, where he needs to do a flip off of something.
Unless he has to jump further than 30 feet.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a limit to how far you can go.
Yeah, his proper reception and sense of awareness as far as body positioning and everything, like the gymnast has.
Yeah.
And martial artists, good martial artists and good gymnasts, they have that same. They know where their body is in space at all times.
Yeah.
So we'll say that when it comes to his physicality and that stuff, he's going to be one of the ones that fits into that category of peak human condition.
Yeah.
But when you add in, when you add in that supernatural sense, when you add in that supernatural sense, that's when it just becomes insane, because he's able to dodge out of the way of things a lot easier, block things more effectively, because he knows it's a combination. His is a combination of one superpower, a lot of physical training, and knowing what he's doing.
And I think that's how
in regards to the martial arts.
And I think that's how he figured out Mika was Twilight, because he was there. He was there at the press conference, and he saw Twilight come out, and he just recognized their gait, the way they held themselves, and everything like that. And he was like, ugh, that's Mika.
I mean, Mika kind of gave it away in the following vocal, but
that too, yeah. But yeah, he knew. He
knew already.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
perfect.
I like this.
And I think
love
totally
world-building.
in that the 6 months, Twilight and Tengu has probably came across a bunch of times, and every time Tengu encountered Twilight, he had to deepen his voice a bit, to talk to them.
Oh yeah, if she heard his voice, I think she'd know right away.
Yeah, and he always does this whole thing. He's like, "Oh no, you stay over, like a little bit further over there."
This is comic book land, you know. All
Yeah.
you need to do is put on a pair of glasses, nobody can recognize you.
Well,
just
I can't
scream
possibly know who he is. He's wearing a mask.
Yup, egads.
Yeah.
I want to know, in the comic book world, where literally but a little bit of makeup, whatever, etc., can make it so people can't recognize you. Yeah, what happens if your choice of makeup is bad and you go out in the rain and it smudges? Do people stop recognizing you?
Question. Yeah,
No, it's a
great
comic book. It's like watching a
Comic book,
Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
Look, I will say though, if you've ever watched Christopher Reeve's version of Superman and watched him physically transform himself from
Yeah.
Clark Kent to Superman
Yeah.
by taking off a pair of
Yeah.
glasses,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
was impressive. As an actor,
There was a comic called Superman Birthright, which pretty much took that thing Christopher Reeves did, because it was basically a retelling of Superman's origin, and it was from when he first decided to leave Kent Farm and go to Metropolis, and he said, like, I have to wear have a secret identity. So his mother told him, like, first of all, slouch your body. We're gonna comb your hair a different way. We're gonna make sure you buy suits that are 2 sizes too big for you, and wear the glasses, because it is actually the glasses is the key point, because the glasses he wears, it dulls the color of his eyes, because Superman has strikingly blue eyes. So the glasses that he wears makes sure that the color of his eyes is diluted. And he says, like, he always fidgets with them to make sure no one, like, stares at his face for too long.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely that sort of aspect to it. It does make sense to a certain extent, but still,
Mhm.
you know,
Oh, yeah,
especially
it
when
does.
you've got people that work as reporters that are looking at photos of Clark Kent and photos of Superman.
Yeah.
and that's what I think. Is,
Do you want to tag Clark Kent? Sorry.
I love that. I
I
love,
love that one. Yeah.
But I always think with the new superheroes, when you get into, especially in the masks and things like that, when they are just starting out and they're trying to do the makeup thing and they're rating mom's makeup, or they're rating their mother or their sister's makeup kits. They don't know what to buy, so they're buying the cheap stuff, the drug, cheap drugstore stuff, and they start sweating and it's running, and that cool symbol that they drew on their forehead is now like smeared, and
Yeah.
I have a new Masks character in mind. Okay,
the smudge.
Awesome.
Okay, so we've got a good guy, we've got a bad guy. Let's go with something that's happened in the last 6 months. It can
Ooh,
be something
let's
that's happened
go
to one of
first.
you. It can be something that's happened in the city. Any sort of level. It could be a worldwide thing.
I know Zeke is definitely going to try to fix his relationship with Moore.
Well, I think we'll get to that one.
Yeah, definitely going to get to. I know that's something he's definitely going to be doing.
I think what brought Carlton and Chesapeake Connors to New Eden was at the during the first half of those 6 months, the first month or two after everything happened. He was the one that noticed as well that there was an uptick around the world of things happening that could only be explained by somebody with superpowers. And what is this explosion of people with superpowers? So there's been an uptick of incidents around the world that...
So we're going to take what happened in New Eden and say that there were other places that were doing this.
yeah,
But the
cities
kids
all
was-
around
yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So kind of there's okay, so were they all run by the same people, or were they like different outfits but working together?
It was a network. I don't think one person was in charge of the whole thing. I think it was like cells.
Mhm.
What if it was like city governments wanting to have a brigade of superpowered children? After hearing about what happened in New
Well,
Eden,
actual governments or the wannabe governments? People
The
that
wannabe
try to take
governments.
over.
probably wannabe governments that
Yeah.
want to take over.
Boy
Yeah.
soldiers are a thing.
Mm-hmm. Like they
So,
wanted to
well-
make superpowered child soldiers.
Okay, so we'll say there's about a dozen of them spread out around the world.
Yeah.
But it's they tried passing it off at first as kids being kids, vandalism, that kind of stuff. But it got to the point where you have kids. They're not holding up. They're not bugging people. They're ripping ATMs out of walls because they can.
Yeah. Like it was very obvious that like if you knew for the signs to look, you knew what it was.
Yeah.
But if you
And-
didn't, it's like these are just kids being kids.
And I think that's what happened with Carlton is he knew the signs to look for, and as part of that whole investigation into the mayor, and that's how. But yeah, that's what I think has been happening in the world, and it ties back to New Eden.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we've got a lot of stuff around the world going on with lots of new villains and potential heroes. So effectively what it's done is, just dialed up the quantity.
Mm-hmm. And it just puts us even more so in the limelight as the protectors of New Eden.
Just as another group of teenagers. I mean, you've got these stories of teenagers popping up all over the place, and this group in New Eden.
They're doing they're protecting New Eden, but like Carlton is ready to say but what's to prove that they're not just going to turn on us like every other teenager with powers out there in the world?
What I'll say is, as a result of this, is Malcolm has probably been out on the streets less and more setting up, hostels / institutes to help these teams.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely going out of his way to set up a better public image for us and for the teenage superhero community.
I have a very strange thought that's occurred to me. I don't know if this is
Those are the best kind.
Well, it's like because it seems that it seems from the activities of the of Volume 1 that it might be possible to draw some sort of at least supportive connection between Mortec and us, or at the very least, it seems like there's some sort of like very much more trying to get involved with superheroes type deal thing going on at the very least.
Well, everyone knows that Moore's midnight.
Yeah. What if, just on a personal level, just as far as causing pressure, right? What if what if Null's dad has decided that Hagen Tech is going to sponsor a superhero or some or a superhero, a different superhero group? Just so that they'll have
official sponsorship,
because they do security systems and things like that, and they want to try to people to give the impression that what the things they'll be able to produce will keep people safe. And so it's like, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be someone connected directly to them. It's just like we need to get our own superhero or our own group of superheroes.
Okay, I'm going to go back to something that came up in Discord and say that Hagen Tech, whichever one, Hagen Corp, because it's more tech, Hagen Corp.
Well, it's there are two companies, but yeah, go ahead.
Are going to have sponsored the Dean's List.
Yes. That is perfect.
What?
So
the Dean's List?
They're kind of the antithesis of you.
Yeah. So you ever read there was a comic back in the 90s called Youngblood, right? And Youngblood was made by Image, and they were basically to be like Image's version of the Avengers. But the whole gimmick behind Youngblood was that even though they were superheroes, they were superheroes that were sponsored. Like everything they did it not for it because they're heroes. They did it because
they were getting paid.
They're getting paid to do it. And they do corporates, they do company spots, they do commercial spots. They're sponsored by various companies. I think the Dean's List.
Yeah, it's kind of like in The Boys. Yeah,
kind of like in The Boys. Yeah, the Dean's List is like the equivalent of Youngblood, where we're not doing it because we want to do good in the world. We're doing this because we're getting paid bank.
And that's the cool thing. It's like it's not like they're bad guys. It's just that they're good guys for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Did they try to recruit Skylar?
What?
Did his family try to recruit him?
That would have been incredibly awkward. But maybe.
So,
has any more of his family found out?
Yeah.
Well, thus far, it's possible. So, like, Skylar's twin sister knows. She's always known. And that's been one of the things that's been sort of stressed between them because it's like she doesn't want him to get himself killed. I know that Skylar's older sister, a few years back, just got fed up with the family business and started working for more. So there's a possibility his older sister might have found out that way. Possibly.
It depends in what capacities she's working for more.
She was originally, if I can find I've got to find
I'm saying because Mortek's huge. I mean, in a comic book world, it would just be convenient that she ends up being Q's assistant.
Yeah, it's
was there when you went in for your measurements for your suit.
Hopefully not, but
yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's comic book world.
Yeah, in comic book world, she could have
the chances of you meeting each other is next to nothing.
But it could have been a thing where it's like she saw it and then turned around immediately. But let me see if I can find it here real quick. Here we go. I just have to go back to the Marissa Hagen was an administrator at Hagen Tech. Finally quit about 5 years ago after there had been years of infighting around Martin's divorce from his first wife, Alexandra, and started working at Moore's company. It doesn't say she was an administrator of some kind on the tech side of the Hagen company.
At the moment, we'll say that she, as far as you are aware, she does not know.
Yeah. But it's possible.
I think that would be great if she found out somehow. I mean, she's administrator in the tech department. Skylar's getting tech. There's going to be a notation in there for Null/Skylar.
I'd say it was a matter of time until she probably comes across it. The question is how much time that's going to be.
6 months.
Did it happen within those 6 months? Yeah, did it happen within the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like to think that the comic, like the comics, the mini series that explains like the 6 month time gap between volumes 1 and 2 is just called 72 days.
Yeah. And the weird thing is
that's all it's called.
She's estranged from the family, but for the most part, or at least from the Skylar's parent.
72 days is only 2 months.
Oh wait, 72. Yes. Oh yeah.
Right?
Wow. Yeah. That's true. It is only 2 months. 72 weeks.
Well, that's a year and a half.
That's a year and a half. No. Weeks.
Nice try.
Yeah, I'm trying to count like how many weeks are in
half a year.
Months.
It's
half a year.
It's like 26. It's 26.
Yeah, 26. Yeah, that's what it is. 26. Yeah.
Yes, 26.
Oh.
Math
is hard. It's
I
cool.
was just sitting there going,
How does it work?
am I nuts here? Am I the only one who hasn't picked up that that's not anywhere near 6 months?
That's not how that works.
What is this math thing that people keep talking about? I'm not familiar.
Yeah, no. Don't look at me for math.
Math.
It's just the way my brain's geared. Is good with numbers.
That's possible.
Okay, so
also,
unless something comes up in our discussions this evening, we're going to move forward on the assumption that, as far as anyone is aware, she does not. It's still only your twin sister that knows.
Yeah, there is a chance, probably not terribly good, but if for whatever reason Martin Jr. It's kind of like pokes his head up and finally figures out what's going on in the hacking world, he might figure it out. But he's smart enough to figure it out.
He's more likely to know that you're exceptionally good when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Dean's List. think they're going to be called that because the executive vice president in charge of their program is somebody Dean.
Or he could actually be a dean of a college.
Nice.
I mean, they could all.
Thomas Dean.
Yeah.
In public relations. He's executive vice president of public relations. Because this is a PR thing.
His name is Thomas Dean, and there was like, yeah, this is Dean's list.
Mm-hmm.
Boo. Boo.
Okay. What I'm going to say is there's been rumblings of the Dean's list during the 6 months. You know, Hagen Corp are about to do something big. And, you know, the Dean's list has been passed around as a name whatsoever, but you haven't actually seen them yet.
You know,
Yeah.
it's possible that this might be something that's also sort of being pushed by Bryce Hagen, his one of his older brothers, who's just trying to who's actually really into it and is trying to inherit the company, even though he has absolutely no ability with it. So it's like he's.
What if
Thomas Dean might just be the public face of the
Yeah.
program? You know, he doesn't necessarily have to be the person
Oh, yeah.
behind the
What
power
if-
Well, no,
behind the
I'm
throne.
just as far as if we want to make this more personal
what if
and tragic.
this is Bryce's? What if this is Bryce's like big project to finally say like, hey, look at me, I should be taking over the company, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's because he's the one who wants it.
Yeah.
He's the one who really wants it. And it's kind of obvious to everyone else he's never going to get it. But
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
started a whisper campaign, but they haven't done. They're waiting to do kind of like an Umbrella Academy, a big, there's going to be a big press conference, and they're all going to come out in their uniforms and everything like that, and
I think
they're starting the whisper campaign now just to get that out there.
and to like even go further with the whole like Dean's List thing is that they're uniformed. There's no there's no distinction between their costumes. They are I'd
say there's minor ones. It'd be like X-Men.
Yeah, kind of like,
all
but
the X-Men. All the X-Men's costumes were.
Yeah.
You could all tell they were all X-Men, but you could also tell individuals.
Which one is which? Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're
yeah.
they all very much fit like a uniformity with each other.
nice.
Yeah.
They have a tie, like a prep school tie.
Oh yeah, it's very like Umbrella Academy looking uniforms, where they look like prep school kids.
God, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, isn't it great?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to think on how to come up.
There's
with
some
that.
It's that or
uniformity
mortar
between them.
boards.
Oh gosh.
No.
No.
No. I get up and I leave if this continues.
Nice.
Putting my metaphorical foot down.
Okay. What should we move on to next?
Stomping with the metafoot.
I think we need a threat that you guys have faced.
Besides mobs of people because I'm awesome? No.
That's not a threat.
How big a threat do we want here?
Yeah.
That's up to you. It's something you faced. I didn't actually say that you beat it.
Oh.
I wish I didn't
it's up
have
to
this
you.
list in front of me because ideas are starting to come to me. This is not a good thing. My ideas only cause pain for us. I just want you to know this.
Conflict is important in storytelling.
This is true. So, how do we feel? Oh God.
Do it.
How do we feel about a time traveling bad guy?
We have enough of time travel weird time.
No, he's not.
Nobody has time traveled.
No one has time traveled.
Yeah, but
a time loop is not a time travel.
Yeah,
it's an alternate universe.
Yeah, Deimos is just an alternate
time
universe.
stream.
Yeah, that's different from time travel.
Okay, it's different from time travel, but I could see time travel causing a lot of the same things we've already dealt with.
Or could it? What if it's someone who time travels, but it really doesn't? They have like no personal connection to us. But it's
Okay,
like
so
a
are we
villain who's
talking
like a time travel
from the
villain
future or
something.
from the past?
How about just somebody with access to faster than light travel?
So the Flash?
No,
Can we
well,
have an
faster than
alien?
light.
Can we have
Kinda
an
thing, like-
Faster than light. I
Well,
mean, that's
the Flash could. That's how he used the Speed Force to,
Yeah.
to time travel.
Yep.
It was technically faster than light travel.
Yeah. But someone who has access. Oh, what if it's someone who created like a faster than light engine, and they activated it in Eden, and it started off small. Like there was these small, like little disturbances, and it grew bigger and bigger, but then eventually became really noticeable that we had to step in and take care of it, kind of thing. Kind of like that episode of Justice League.
how about if we knew somebody had it because there were paradoxes showing up?
That could work.
Yeah.
Basically, this weird machine that in theory could have been a time machine, become a time machine if done right, was basically randomly fracturing the timelines and changing small things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very H.G.
right.
Wells kind of thing.
All right, Jim,
You
Cat,
constructed the light engine. No, sorry, go ahead.
Jim, Cat, are you willing to work with me? Do you want to come play in my space?
Oh dear.
Come play with me.
Say yes. Say yes.
Play with
Maybe.
me. Okay.
What have you got in mind?
What if Skylar is in a Groundhog Day episode where he's trying to have a perfect date?
Oh my god.
I love it.
What if that's the day they realize something is up?
Okay, so in other words, we don't actually have to have a 6-month gap. It could just be 6 months for you two.
We've done this about 20 times now already, and I'm very concerned.
Like they are in like a Groundhog Day loop of one day where they're trying to like, and they're
We're supposed to go
constantly-
meet my dad for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
It just keeps looping.
It just keeps looping over and over and over again.
It's like he
the
knows
first
the
time it
entire
happens,
conversation before it happens.
it goes horrible, and it's like one of those things where Skylar's like, I wish I could go back and fix everything. And then he wakes up and he's realizing he's living the day again.
Heat
and
in the
he realizes-
moments on the radio.
Yeah, you know.
But yeah, but
Nice.
that's the paradox though that was created by whoever's got that FTL engine.
Yeah. They wanted to do the same thing that Skylar wanted to do.
Oh my god.
They just wanted to
Yeah,
relive one
they
day.
were actually trying to go back further to try and stop something that actually
Yeah.
did happen.
Or fix something, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically bring somebody, bring back a lost one. It's going to be your classic,
Yeah.
Dr.
Yeah.
Freeze villain mentality. Why Dr.
Yeah.
Freeze does everything they do is to save.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, totally.
and somehow Skylar and Metawarp were in the vicinity and got caught in that.
So then you two got caught in the loop. The rest of the others ended up fixing it.
And then we all joined together to try
I will
to-
say that
yeah.
at the end of it, there was a kind of an explosion type thing. And the bad guy, well, he wasn't a bad guy. He was just trying to fix things. Got caught in the explosion of the device as it ended. In typical, we've now got room for another villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his name is Paradox.
Or
I
something.
love it.
I
Yeah.
was thinking like the
Paradox
Tinker.
is a good name.
I can-
Yeah.
I can float you an alternative if you so desire.
with the tinker. He was just tinkering around in his garage.
Just depends on how crazy we want him to go.
Yeah.
I'm willing to hear
Doc Brown.
Lord Time Lapse.
Possibly.
Can we just call it? No, we can't call him. No, legally distinct from Doc Brown.
What about like Slipstream?
Oh, I like.
I kind of like Catch 22.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Is he played
yeah.
by? Is this guy played by John Sim?
Don't. Oh.
I mean,
Oh,
he
I
could
like
be.
that.
Or Michelle Gomez.
He totally could
Yep.
be.
Or Michelle Gomez, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he's every single one of them.
Oh my god.
Like every time we see them,
We are creating
shows-
a Time Lord.
Yeah.
Is basically
Well,
what we're doing
Just
here.
one day we
Yeah.
see Roger Delgado and
Oh.
we lose it anyway.
he's
no,
a
we see
wannabe
Roger
Time
Delgado's like,
Lord.
nope, we pack it up, pack it
Nope,
up.
nope,
everyone
that's
pack
it. We're gone.
He's a wannabe Time Lord. He wants to be a Time Lord.
He doesn't have the hearts.
No.
Ah,
Ah.
That reminds me of the greatest quote regarding Doctor Who ever. It was one of Moffat's quotes, but let me just bring it up. When they made this particular hero, they didn't give him a gun. They gave him a screwdriver to fix things. They didn't give him a tank or a warship or an X-wing fighter. They gave him a call box from which people can call for help. And they didn't give him a superpower or pointy ears or a heat ray. They gave him an extra heart. They gave him 2 hearts. And that's an extraordinary thing. There will never come a time when we don't need a hero like the Doctor.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
that is
is this guy wanted to be like
Doctor.
the Doctor. He wanted to be that
Yeah.
cool guy that goes back in time and fixes everything, but he doesn't have the heart. He lacks that.
Oh, no.
He lacks it.
Okay. Originally, he was that guy. Originally, he was that guy. But the thing that we're going to say this on a meta level because you don't know it in character yet. But in the explosion and what it made him, he needs to feed on paradox energy. So he has to cause problems in timelines
Yep.
in order to live.
Oh,
It's very good.
Poor guy.
that is good.
Like that.
That smacks of the Doom playbook so hard.
I love
Oh,
it.
man, that is good.
It is effectively a villain version of the Doom.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
all he wants is to do good things, and he might be doing good things, but every once in a while he's got to do he's got to do something nasty, or
Yeah.
he dies.
Like he has to create
That
these
paradox.
hiccups in the time stream
Yeah.
just so he can live.
I love
Yep.
it.
Very cool.
Oh man, yeah. And like Skylar's Groundhog Day was one of the things that he caused.
Well, I'll say that was from the original. Originally,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
thought he had finally perfected his time machine, which was going to allow him to go back and fix whatever he needed to fix. Something happened, whether it was a power surge, what have you, etc., and it went wrong, caused the time loop. The rest of the team comes and fixes it, but in fixing it, the machine explodes. He gets caught in the explosion, disappears, and next time he shows up, he's new villain.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the
Nice.
question. Okay, I suppose this will it's up to you guys, but the end result of the time loop, when the rest of them had finally fixed it, and you guys came out of the time loop, was it a good result?
Ooh.
Well, no, Friday.
Yeah, we might know Friday. Actually.
Yeah, I was saying it's up to you whether you want to do it on Friday or whether this is going to be a separate thing, which you play. Becomes one of the things that you take into account on Friday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a question. It's a case of, was that one of the ones where Skylar was just going, "I'm caught in this loop. I'm just gonna, piss about."
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to my dad and moon him all day.
Yeah. I don't know if we should. I don't know if it should be like one of the really bad comical ones, or if it should be one of the bad ones, or one of the really good ones. It could be that we could do. It could be something where it's like maybe not everything. It could be just something where things just end up remarkably very similar to the way they started, and it's just one of those.
But
things
with a
where it's
bit
like,
of a setback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if at
think it
first you
definitely
never
does.
actually get to having dinner with Ronan? Like somehow you loop back before.
Oh yeah,
you-
in the loop we never get to dinner.
Oh yeah. Like it's right before it happens. The loop starts up again.
I mean, that's up to you guys. But I just
Yeah.
thought that would be a fun
I
idea that
think-
you never actually get there.
I think I want to. I kind of want to play some of that out through the through Friday on Friday though.
Okay, cool. That
because
sounds
I
good.
think that's
Yeah.
they were stuck in that time together with all that time to have the conversations and to
Yeah.
learn things and go places and so I think that would be
So, okay, how long was the time? How many days did you have in there? Okay, because for you
Great
guys, it's going to
question.
be that many days more than for everybody else.
Yeah, it's sort of weird because we didn't age physically, but we remember it, so it's like
Yeah.
crazy. Oh man.
I mean, realistically, you're probably talking, in order for it to be a good time-out story, you're probably going to be talking at least 2 months.
Yeah.
yeah. I was thinking 2 to 3 months.
So, we'll just say 80 days.
Okay.
That's a good number.
Wait, we
Dr.
could have our
Jones Band.
72.
No, it wasn't Jules Van that did it around the world in 8 days, was it? It was...
That was Jules Verne, I think.
Yeah, it
I
was
think that
Jules
was.
Verne.
Yeah.
That was Jules Verne, yeah.
Jules Verne around the world in 80 days. Yeah.
I still like it when someone actually beat the around the world in the 80 days record in the real world.
Yes.
And my immediate response, congratulations, you beat a fictional record.
Yay. I think it was the thing that if it's the same one I was thinking, I'm thinking of. They did try it just using the same methods that of travel they had back then. So it was they were trying to keep it.
Yeah.
So it were,
Oh yeah, no, they
Yeah.
stayed true to it and all that sort of stuff. I mean nowadays, you could hot air balloon around the world.
Yeah.
A lot less if you're using modern technology. But yeah, okay. So, what's Puck been up to?
Ooh.
Puck has, in between spending time getting to know Ezekiel better, they've been studying his behavior. And one of the moves I was planning on was the hit the files move from the Protege playbook.
Actually, that works into something that I was going to ask, because the way I see it, out of the people on the team, the person that Malcolm would probably approach to help with setting up all the various help centers for those that are developing their powers and including all those homeless kids that got snatched, would probably be Puck.
And Puck would absolutely step up.
So if you want to take that playbook, that can come in from that.
Yeah, sure.
Basically, because you'd have a connection to more
Yeah,
Through-
definitely.
that foundation, because you're much closer to the street than he is. You'd know how to.
Mhm.
He'd be able to provide the money and the resources and all that sort of stuff, but you'd have a much better idea about exactly where to put those resources.
Puck is somebody from the streets, so it's that they are somebody that these kids actually trust. Like if it was just straight up more saying, "Hey kids, I have this charity for you," these kids would just be like, "No, man, I'm not going there." But now that one of them is just like, "Hey guys, come on, this is a safe place. I'm going to help you out." These kids would be much more inclined to actually go and get help.
Okay, so yeah, that works for me. So Puck's been what should we call the foundation? Uncharacteristically, Moore is not naming it after himself.
Fantastic. I'm not quite sure. Does anybody have any ideas?
So Moore is having a troop of new teenage superheroes. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, no, he's setting up places where if people with powers can go for support if they need it.
It's some
Yes,
live
entirely.
stream.
The idea is it's entirely voluntary based. You do not have to go there. You're not held there for any reason whatsoever. But if you need a place to stay, if you need some help controlling your powers, etc., this is a place you can go.
Midsummer's Night's Dream.
I love it.
Because Puck.
Exactly.
Sorry.
We can call it Midsummer's Night for short.
Now I just want it to be like the donkey's head.
Maybe that's the nickname for it on the streets.
Or bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
No, you're going out. No, it's if you're going there, it's referred to as Robin Goodfellow's place.
Robin Goodfellow.
There you go.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Robin Goodfellow's place.
Because that's Puck's name. That was the
I
first.
mean, that's how they could refer to it. It could be the Robin Goodfellow Foundation.
I love it.
Yes,
The Robin Goodfellow Foundation.
I love it.
If that's what they call it, yeah.
Yes. I like. Yes.
Absolutely. That's how it's
A
going to be.
Midsummer's Night Dream was the first Shakespeare play I performed in, so it
Aw.
holds a special place in my heart. So it makes me warm and fuzzy inside.
Okay, and this has been set up globally.
Oh,
Basically,
cool.
wherever one of these rings was uncovered and dismantled, Moore has opened something up within accessible distance to it.
Cool.
That's good. Yeah. And also really
I mean,
does
like
explain.
I said, he's not heroing as much as he was. A, because of his medical issues, and B, because he's spending more time doing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that. Good time to have our break then.
Yeah, that works.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we shall return and continue our building up of things that have been happening. We will see
Yay.
you in a little bit.
Hi, guys.
Greetings, friends. This is more Abject Break Time Confabulation. I am very excited once again because we have Summer here with us once more to talk about some of the stuff that is coming up on Off the Table. If you've not seen it, or maybe it's running now already. I don't know exactly when we're going to air this, but it's things you should check out and should at least always be immortalized in VOD form, if nothing else. Hi, Summer. What's up?
Hi, we have so many new shows that are about to happen. As of recording this, we have about a week before these new shows start up, and I'm so excited. We have a bunch of new systems coming to the channel, ones that we've never seen before here, which, wow, we keep on doing it, don't we? Obviously, we have our 2 long-term campaigns that are still running. We have Tales from Their Show, which is D&D 5e that I run bi-weekly on Fridays, and we have Alas for the Awful Seat, which has been going on. Oh, I think we're getting into like our nearly our 20s for episodes. And that's every Tuesday. That's always a great game if you want to jump in. It's easy to catch up because it's very like chapter kind of oriented, where we do like one island at a time. But if you want to look for new shows that are just getting up off the ground, we have 4 new shows coming to the channel. Bi-weekly Wednesdays, we have Godsend, which is run by Little Cup of Joe, Jess, if you're interested in checking her out. And basically Godsend is a buck wild time. It's a diceless game, very narrative driven, where you play a god and an avatar. You play one god and then you play another character's avatar, and basically you just wreak havoc on Earth. You're there to do their bidding, or maybe do your own bidding, and maybe get revenge on people, and maybe unleash curses on the Earth. Who knows what you're there to do? Death is pretty common in the game, and then you come back as a new avatar, and it's just going to be a buck wild time. If you're interested in seeing that game, we haven't fully decided our setting yet, but we're all kind of leaning towards futuristic urban fantasy where gods are dead. Nobody needs gods anymore. But here are the avatars that are just like, oh, you thought you can get rid of us kind of deal. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Bi-weekly
awesome.
Thursdays. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just going to keep on.
You feel free if you
I'm just going to keep on going. Can't stop me, Jim.
Okay.
Bi-weekly Thursdays, we have Good Society, which we did do a one-shot on the channel a while back if you want to check that out. JL__ Nice Girl is running that. Lauren, if you are interested in checking her out, she's facilitating it, and we are playing the Sense, Sensibility, and Swordsmanship expansion, where you play a normal person, but you also have like a secret identity where you go after people and like maybe have to kill the person you're in love with. I don't really know, but it's going to be a lot of fun. If you love Regency era, really loosely, because none of us know actually what was going on then, and we're not going to take the time to learn. But if you love like Jane Austen, those kinds of movies and books, please come check out that show. It's going to be incredibly dramatic. I honestly can't wait. Our one shot, me and Dingo, it was just Katie's internet dropped out, but me and Dingo were playing, and we were just like casually crying at the end of 3 hours. Oh my god, it's such a good game. If you haven't checked out Good Society, another diceless game, super fun. And then also bi-weekly on Thursdays, we have Liminal coming to the channel, which is a 2D20 system. It is urban fantasy where essentially you play like not detectives, I guess, but kind of like paranormal investigators that are kind of delving between this world and then Arcadia, Feywilds, whatever you have it, other realms. And you can play the mystical, magical, or you can play the mundane and kind of see where those two worlds overlap. And I'm also very excited. We love urban fantasy on Off the Table, obviously. We've had a lot of Urban Shadows of 3 campaigns, and obviously Off the Table is doing 2 podcasts as well. That's Urban Shadows. So we love urban fantasy. I'm very excited for it. The system seems really cool. I've never played Liminal, so I'm really excited to do more with that. Cool. And then our last new show, bi-weekly on Fridays, is Hark, which is set in the Cypher system. This is probably the game that I have been the most excited for, just because we've been planning it for a long time. And essentially it is a post-apocalyptic world, similar to Land of Oo from Adventure Time, where you have this really awesome mix of modern things that we would recognize, cars, video games, but you also have magic that's like abundant. You have gods that roam the earth like little creatures. We have vampires that steal dreams rather than suck blood. We have witches and wizards and gummy people and people who have lived under the surface of the earth. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be kind of hope punk story about travel and found family and finding your purpose, a kind of coming of age tale. So I'm really excited for that one too. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be really fresh. I'm playing a vampire hunter. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's wonderful. The idea, it's good. We don't see a lot of hope punk, so that's awesome. Mm-hmm. That sounds crazy exciting. Actually, all of these things sound crazy exciting. Just the idea of seeing the things with the gods roaming the earth in other forms. It's something that we're starting to get a few more games about that more recently, mm-hmm. and it's good to actually see them in action though, because I don't actually see people playing them so much.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Yeah, Godsend has some crazy awesome art if you go check out like the PDF. And it has a lot of expansions too, I think. It's got a couple of versions out. I think we're playing version 3, which I'm pretty sure is the most recent version. But the playbooks, if you will, are so cool because I mean, you literally have unbridled power. Like your purpose is to go and just big things happen wherever you are because you are the avatar of a god. And when everybody has a death move, so when you die, like dying is actually fun because you get to unleash these like massive like curses or natural events or like, you know, just crazy shit on everyone. And I am really excited to kind of play these like world altering people without really worrying about the consequences, right? Because if you die, you do have to deal with them if you play you roll up a new character and you're like, but you can worry about that later. You don't need to worry about that right now. Just like go for it. It's going to be really fun.
Awesome. And also just great to see more Diceless games out there too. It's I've been clinging on to just Amber Diceless for so long, and now finally more of them are coming out, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thank you very much for checking this out. If folks want to find you and your stuff online, where should they go?
Yeah, if you're interested in seeing what I'm up to, you can follow me at Just a Summer Job. But if you're interested in seeing Off the Table and all of our games, you're more likely to find our information at off_the_table on Twitter and Twitch. That's where we tweet about everything that we've got going on. If you're interested in playing games with us too, that's where we release signups and applications to be a GM on the channel. So giving us a follow will make sure that you stay up to date with everything coming up.
Awesome. Well, I am going to now toss things back to me, probably. See you folks later. Hello, we have returned, and we're figuring more stuff out about what we're up to. What's going on?
Yes, I do have a very important question.
Uh-oh.
What happened to the Hutchinsons in the fallout of the mayor's?
Burn them to the ground. I don't care anymore.
Ooh, I think
Were they caught? Did they get away with it? Was it a different situation for each one?
Yeah, I'd like to think that maybe not
Danny
all of
Dearest
them were
got
caught.
away.
I think they all got away.
I think
'Cause
Amber
there's-
threw her husband under the bus.
Yeah, I think the husband went down for everything, and Ember got off.
Yeah.
Ember just disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean, her family's made of money. It's not entirely out of the possibility that they just both disappeared.
You know what I like to think? I like
The
to think
mayor
that
gave up one of them, and
Yeah.
I think the mayor gave up Mika's dad.
yeah. And I think that Mika's dad was 100% has been through this situation before. So when this happened, he was all like, this was just going to happen. So then he just pretty much pulled out every contingency plan that he had for something like this to happen. And he was already out of jail like a day later.
Oof.
But I think Ember disappeared. She's hasn't been seen or heard from. There have been rumors, sightings maybe because of the ongoing activity, but
But it's gotten to the point where it's kind of like, the jokes you see Elvis working at a Burger King in Des Moines.
Yeah.
Wait, that wasn't really Elvis?
it was his brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was Aaron. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, cool.
They look
So basically, the
similar.
Hutchinsons are on the top. Are most wanted.
Yeah. Like their empire
On the
is
run.
no longer like it's like Mika's dad has been through this many times with his criminal empire that has its rise, then it fell, and then he just built himself back up again, and he feels like, yep, it's time to do this again.
Cool. I'm saying that was an important little bit that needed to be done, because the Hutchinsons don't really need to be around anymore given the switch in playbooks. So
Yeah, they're still filthy rich.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not hurting by any means,
Mm-mm.
but the empire is not as strong as it once was.
yeah, they don't have assets in place, as it were.
At least not to the reason they're money laundering part of the business.
Yeah,
The
well, I
villain-
mean, he's got wealth reserves far beyond the regular Hutchinson family wealth because
I'm
of
sure.
his background. But yeah,
I mean,
okay, so they're both on the run. So we're saying that he did get picked up by the police, but then just disappeared from lockup.
Yeah.
I think he got, the mayor turned him. The mayor pointed the finger at him. He got picked up, but with wealth, connections, lawyers, blah blah blah, he was not in jail that long, and he walked off. And
And then disappeared.
Yeah.
yeah, at least disappeared from New Eden. He's probably shown up. His location is known, a non-extradition treaty country. It's
Yeah.
Ember that hasn't been seen.
So there's
So it'd probably be a country that's not a member of the United Nations.
yeah. So
Right.
like how in the Marvel comics there's this place called Martipur, which is basically like a pirate island that anything can happen there. Like all the criminal organizations, they go there because that's where they can do all of their stuff and not get tracked by the World Police Organization and everything like that. They're super protected. I feel like that he went there, to the equivalent of this world's Martipur. He went there
Okay.
Like, and it's very known. If it's known that he's there. You can't touch him, but he's there.
Yeah.
Ember's just the one that nobody knows where she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fallen into the black hole.
Okay.
Mika would like to see them both burn, metaphorically speaking. Rot in jail for the rest of forever.
Well, they've lost their standing and their power, which to a large extent is the same thing. Okay. Right. What else should we move on to? What other important questions need to be answered? So what have we got so far? We've got two bad guys, one powered, one not. We've got some new good guys, one which is on good terms with you guys, another set which probably won't be. There'll be competition. We know what Midnight's been up to. What's Ronan been up to?
Ooh.
Well, because I don't know what you have set up between him and Megawatt. But I like to think that during the 3 months that Chris was gone, caught in that loop with Skylar.
Oh, you weren't gone. I mean, for anybody outside the loop, it was one day. You just lived that same day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
80 times.
I had it flipped in my mind.
Yeah.
They're not. She has her own set of keys to the car, but she still has to ask to borrow it.
Okay, I'll say what he's done. He's given you the not ward out car.
Okay.
So you've got the one which it can go invisible, but and fly. That's about it.
I think he's.
It's also got leather upholstery. The other one does.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh, nice.
How's the sound system?
Well, faux leather.
Yeah, vinyl. I think they've kind of settled into a pattern of regular. They talk one. They most likely talk at least once a day, maybe or text messages. Hey, how are you? Kind of stuff. But there's a regular dinner once a week that she has with him. And sometimes Skylar comes along, sometimes he doesn't.
So pretty much same old with Ronan.
Yeah, but she's kind of getting that independence and that distance, whereas it was the two of them for so long. She's kind of they're making that break.
Okay, cool. I will say that there's one thing that has come up in that 6 months is astrologers at the planetarium have noticed that a certain galaxy is no longer a binary system, it is a trinary system.
Do you mean astronomy or astrology?
Astronomers.
Astronomy. Did I say astrology?
Yeah, you said astrologers.
Okay. See, the best way to think about it is by thinking about Brian Cox. You guys know who Brian Cox is? Okay, this is a comedy bit by Dio O'Brien. Okay, the difference between astronomy and astrology is astronomy, Brian Cox, nom 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 nom. Astrology, log, like you find in the toilet.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I mean, Brian Cox is kind of non-worthy, but
okay. So astronomers have discovered that what was once thought to be a binary star system is now a trinary star system, and a new star has been born. You can guess which star system this is. The new star is incredibly small.
Oh.
That,
Oh.
that does not sound good.
That doesn't sound good at all.
No.
No.
Is this her mother's home system?
We don't
Yep.
want that.
Okay. I think this is a good thing. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So I think she might have heard that at the planetarium, because she does go there quite a bit. So she'd have gone back to.
It's probably gotten to the point where you've now been given a swipe card, so you can go in whenever you want. Because you know you're Ronin's kid and you've proved yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I think she would. That was one of the dinners that Skylar was not invited to. Was right after she found out, and that was a conversation. That was a conversation that was had. Her asking questions. What's going on?
Well, the only thing you'll get from Ronin is it's your mum that's going to have to answer those questions.
When is mom going to be able to answer them? She's starting to get a little irritated on that front. Oh boy. Okay.
The one thing you do when you go into the planetarium and you bring up the star system is this new star, for some obscure reason, does bring that similar feeling to home to you. There's no reason for it, just looking at it, you just get that whole I'm at home feeling.
Yeah. I think she has her suspicions. I think, she has her suspicions. But,
so the way it works is you've got a really big star, and then you've got one which is probably the circle of it is about half the size, so it's actually about an eighth of the size, which is the second one. And then you've got this small little dot compared to them.
Yeah.
And it's like it seems to be looping like this weird pattern in between them.
Yeah, so I think, so here I am thinking about this. This is, there was probably a few weeks where she kind of distanced herself from the group and from Skylar. Chris just, she was a lot like she was when she first joined the group. She didn't talk much. She wasn't involved in activities or like that. And then kind of slowly came back out of it. And she would have eventually taken Skylar there and showed him. And I think what she did was when they went to the planetarium and she showed him, that's home.
And so this was basically, you were just showing the pointing to the star itself as
the system with the now that has the 3 stars.
Thanks to intergalactic heroes and stuff, star mapping is a lot more better detailed than we have it in the real world.
Cool.
Yeah, the home system of this now trinary system, there are about a dozen planets, 2 of which can support life. The inhabitants of each of these planets don't really like each other too much. But more than that will come up, might come up during play. Okay, so what else do we want to do? We've got some bad guys, we've got some good guys. Let's have something else that's happened in the city
Well-
itself.
Oh, okay. What if there was a parade of some sort?
Sure. Any particular reason? You are
I
coming. Actually, 2020 would make sense to be around about the centenary of New Eden.
Yeah, I think that was like a big thing. That they had like a big parade to be the whole centenary of New Eden's founding. It was like almost like a World's Fair level stuff where I think that's when more announced the
Robin Goodfellow initiative?
the Robert Goodfellow initiative.
I'm
I think
pretty
that's
sure.
when he made the big announcement about it.
With
pretty
Peck on
sure-
stage with him.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. In addition, if there's actually a parade, Twilight has a small float.
I don't think there's a probably in it.
No, she does.
Like there's zero probably.
Yeah, there really isn't a probably. There probably isn't a probably.
Yeah.
And she invites you guys, I think, with her. That's
Okay. Did the parade go well?
I think it would be kind of like, I want to say yes, but my knee-jerk reaction is to say something like one of the inflatables. Something went down with one of the inflatables.
I was thinking supervillains, but okay.
Why not both?
You can have your mundane, crazy waving tube guy deflate.
The same group of punks that were trying to pull out the ATM and all of that. That group, they
showed up.
Yeah, they like to cause a bit of havoc now and then, and the parade was a perfect opportunity, so they messed with one of the floats.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And at the end of it, Carlton viewed that as another fuel for one of his rants on screen.
F that guy.
Yeah.
Twilight was there. They had their own float. Why didn't they stop it?
Yeah.
RH can't respect the sanctity of these things. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Excellent.
I'm assuming one of the demands Mika's audience makes on Twilight is they require frequent bouts of drama. So I think if no one else joins her, at the very least, Mika is going to try to whip those rabble rousers into shape.
Is there a name that's been given to the trio of what have you?
Um,
I mean, I'll be honest, in my notes, I've just been putting the Latin Club just so I know who I'm talking about.
I mean, Demon
Have they?
Guy, Windbag, and Robot Dude?
The Supremacy is not one of them.
No. Oh, there were three other guys, that's right.
Yeah, it's Malum, Nihilim, and Ventus.
It sounds almost Dante's Inferno type deal.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It really does sound very Dante's Inferno kind of thing.
The three circles or the I don't know, I'm not feeling creative.
See, my mind immediately wants to go to Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
the
same thing.
Infern-
I was thinking the same thing as you, Pepper.
They call themselves the Infernals.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one.
What? I like that. I really like that. This is why these groups work so well together.
One of the reasons, definitely. Okay, so the Infernals messed up with that. So they basically are just generally, they pop up, cause some havoc.
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much, as soon as they're confronted by any actual threat, they tend to just melt away.
Yeah, they leave as soon as anyone tries to just like go up against them.
Well, anyone powered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right. I want a big bad guy. Someone who's, it's not that they're a threat to, a bank. They're a potential threat to the city.
Ooh, okay.
How about we start with what kind of power source are we talking about? Are we talking, tech person, magic? Are we talking,
My mind goes to
experiment?
nuclear.
Yeah, I'm thinking a science-based kind of villain.
Well, I mean, we've already created a science-based villain in our paradox.
I kind of like magic because New Eden is so advanced scientifically that I think having a true magic. I mean, the only one we really had was Rana.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who was
yeah.
into
That's
that.
a
Yeah.
good
So I think,
one.
And kind of Magna Carta.
yeah,
She doesn't actually
To a
do
point.
magic, but Magna Carta,
Right.
a lot of her power comes from magic.
I
Yeah.
think having a magical supervillain. Be interesting.
Okay, so
So this has kind of popped in my head. Why is it not the African trickster god Anansi?
I love it.
Where their whole thing is not because like Anansi wasn't just the trickster god, but he was also the god of storytelling. And his whole thing is that this guy has the ability to legit rewrite reality if he wanted to. And everything he does is just for the story.
That's creepy.
Does
I
he?
love
So
it.
does he write down the story, or does he have to tell the story?
He has to tell it, kind of thing.
So
He has
it's
a
kind
book.
of like he's putting these things into motion
Yeah.
to see how the story unfolds.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
And like the guy is super meta in everything he does. He knows every single thing that's going on, and he can easily change the past, the present, the future of anything that he wants because he's writing the story. He's always writing the story that's going down. He's always telling this story.
But he can't.
Well, as far as a powered individual can,
Yeah.
anyway.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because he can't control all of it. He just finds what he thinks is going to. He looks for a story, and if he doesn't think the story is good enough, that's when he starts rewriting it. So
Yeah.
he'll choose a person or a city or an event, something at random, and just, I'm going to retell this story.
And the thing is, like the guy's a god. He has superior strength, speed, durability, and everything. But he doesn't like facing the threat directly. He will cause these big threats to happen so that the heroes can face the threat because he likes to see it unfold. Be it a good ending or a bad ending.
Can we call him the director?
Oh,
And scene.
yeah. But in reality, he's not just Anansi, though. He's Anansi. He's Loki. He's Coyote. He is all, like, every single, like, god
The primal
of...
force.
Yeah, he is that force. Like,
So it's basically
everyone
like-
has looked at him and saw what they viewed as this god of trickery
Okay,
and
so
story.
I'm going to put
like
him down
a,
as this
like a
primal force.
cosmic being here.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll put him down as this as a primal force, which means that there's no really beating him. There's just really subduing him for a time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why
Did we
has
go
he
too big?
suddenly- Why is he suddenly interested in New Eden?
What if it was for Puck?
Oh.
Because there's something about them that catches his eye. Like maybe it's because they're writing their own story or something similar.
Oh.
Because the story got rewritten with the alternate, with the prison thing. So stories have been altered, and that caught his attention.
Like Puck
I-
changed the story. Like in their actions, Puck changed the story.
Well, as did Phobos.
Yeah.
When he reached into the pocket when they pulled out.
Yeah, when he created Demos.
Something changed the story.
Yeah. They
Something. There's okay. So all you know is he's here because, as far as he's concerned, something in New Eden has allowed it so the story can be changed. It did not play out the way it was in his book.
And that's why he's here
So
to find out why.
He's here to find out why and write a couple of extra chapters while he's here.
Yeah. And like in this book, he sees the rebels there. Like they were like this constant thing.
Oh, he's going to be so fourth wall breaking when he opens up the book.
Oh no, he totally is fourth wall breaking.
He just pulls up one of the comic book covers from volume 1.
Yeah. Like in like when we were facing him, he pulls out the volume 1 collection and flips through it. He's like, no, that didn't happen. This is how it happened. And he points to the page.
I have just one. I have one veil request with respect to this character, and that it not get meta to the level that he starts referring to this stream or us as people in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
I had that happen in a game once, and it was there were issues.
I think the most meta that he refers to like volume 1 issue 7 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
I completely get that.
Yeah.
Okay,
or rather,
so-
it'd be even okay if he ends up saying knowing that it's a streamed game or something like that. But as long as he doesn't refer to any of us in real life,
That's fine.
Basically,
If you think
Yeah.
of it, it's this way: the story of the rebels caught Stan Lee's attention, and he created a comic strip based on the rebels, and that's where those volumes come from. So that's how he's able to refer to the comic books, because those were written by somebody in those 6 months. These were published, just like they used to publish those pulp novels. that
Oh
were,
yeah.
The Adventures of Wild Bill Hickok. They had absolutely no basis in reality. It was just people scribbling stories about.
Yeah, I love it. Like historical
Cool.
fiction.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's definitely a big bad that you're potentially going to have to deal with. Wow, I can have a lot of options there. And it plays into something that I've had on the burner since the beginning.
Well, that's cool.
Okay, cool.
That's not scary at all.
No, not at all.
I would like, if it's possible, for Deimos to be an agent of this guy. Because in Deimos's mind, it's like he wants Phobos to turn out in a certain way. So this guy is like, so you want his story to go a certain way, and you're upset that it's not going the way you want. And he kind of like I would think maybe like he's trying to like pull Deimos under his wing to just like say, you need to be an agent to cause the story to go right.
Well, it's because the way I see it is that the way this is involving Nancy isn't so much the big bad. He's just a figure capable of great bad.
Yeah.
Who has an interest in the landscape.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Deimos wasn't a bad guy, but was capable of much bad. etc. So them two lining up in some regards could potentially work.
The trickster guards are never evil. They're just chaotic.
Yeah, that's the thing. Their plans come out to bite them in the ass, but they don't have evil intentions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times it's a case of it's just that their motivations aren't in line with what the rest of us go through.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one thing I'll say that you do know from this, because we'll say that you know that Deimos is working for this guy. You don't know just how powerful this guy is, but you will know that he's looking. The way that his boss phrased it as the seed of New Eden.
Okay. Yeah.
And this would have happened towards the end of the 6 months that you would have got this information. So it would be a case of it would have been fresh information as we pick up next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something good that happened was Brandon was able to actually get the homeless initiative and all of that stuff.
Oh, totally.
She's had the news loves her. She's had the most successful first 6 months of her term than anybody has had in New Eden. It's been a huge success.
Like
it's pretty much
FDR's
one thing
100
after
days.
another. Yeah, it's pretty much one thing after the other of her undoing a bad or creating a good.
Right. So there's that kind of the city.
She finally got the power back up and running properly.
Yeah, the city's morale is actually good.
Well, let's face it, people like Colton are at their most successful when people feel they're safest.
Yeah.
Because they can indulge that thing a lot easier. Yep, okay, cool. So, in general, it's good to be in New Eden right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely a very good feeling to be there. Like, it's recently become like it was a great city, but it became a lot better recently.
Record low unemployment.
Yeah.
Record low homelessness, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Homelessness has been all but eliminated.
Everybody's got health care, so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, you've had universal healthcare for quite some time, but they've basically what few restrictions were placed on it, a lot of those have actually been lifted and expanded. The way I look at it is like the European thing, where generally speaking, the only things that you end up paying money towards are dental and optometry, but you pay a subsidized rate as opposed to paying for everything. That's how it works here with the NHS.
I like to think during the 6 month period, Ezekiel called a team meeting, and he was like very forthright, like, guys, I just want to let you know there's been a major change in the group lately. And he just points at Puck and says, like, I'm dating them. That's it. Any questions?
About time you admitted the truth.
Chris is sitting there holding Skylar's hand quietly, just kind of getting like.
No,
okay.
The meeting starts. The meeting starts with Skylar going, "Why are we having this meeting at all?" I'm dating them. Jump.
I love it. Yes, exactly.
It has to take place at a roof. Zeke has to run away.
But he's like he lets them know because he, in his own mind, he felt that like everyone was very will they or won't they, but everyone probably knew in some form of fashion.
Yeah, we figured it out. Is Martin still around?
Sorry, Martin is, yes.
We all
He's
figured it
returned
out.
to his original form.
Yeah, we figured it out because Martin, whenever he, Puck or Ezekiel did anything, he would just do the hard eyes thing.
Yeah.
Can't
Especially
Martin's
when
the
they're
first to
close to
notice.
kissing.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
Martin was the first
Martin-
shipper.
I just
Yeah.
like the idea we're sort of sitting over there. Were we supposed to call a meeting about this?
And then there's just Mika, the squeaky fifth wheel.
Did you want to go get some lunch?
We can do that.
Like he was just very forthright about it, and he just pretty much laid it on this. Like, yeah, that's it.
And Skylar and Chris go, "You want to get some lunch?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get, "We're gonna go get lunch," and they walk out holding hands.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's exactly, yeah. It's just like that. Like he felt like it was a big deal to him. Like to him, it felt like this really big deal because he wasn't sure how to tell the group, and he was worried that it was going to wreck the group. So he wanted to be very honest about it. And then right afterwards, he actually went to Moore and asked more about it, and said he pretty much said, "I'm not sure if you have experience with this or not, but I am dating someone on the team."
Oh.
I think that's a conversation we're gonna have to have in game, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Like he was very honest about it, where he's like he asked Tildmore that he was dating someone on the team, and that's all. He just left it like that kind of thing. Because it was one part he was trying to be honest about it, but at the second time he was also trying to like,
Help.
yeah, help me, please.
Okay, cool. Okay, so what else do we need to think of?
Mole, can you answer this question for me? How much of Mika is the rest of the team actually seeing? Because
What's up to you?
I just imagine that, like, she's throwing herself back into training, like, wholeheartedly. Because I think one of the moves I'm going to end up taking is, with one of my advancements, is take a legacy. Since technically she's a legacy. And I haven't looked at it much closer, but I think she wants to live up to the name Twilight. So I think the amount of Miko you see in the next 6 months in 6 months isn't going to be a whole lot.
Puck would go out of their way to ensure that there was food in the fridge, that Mika's clothes were laundered, that Mika's bed was made,
Well,
that she would have the basic toiletries, that she would always have like a clean towel ready to go, and that if Mika ever needed someone to talk to, Puck was right there.
That's because we fam.
Damn straight we are.
well, that's the thing is you can be busy and all that sort of stuff, but you'll still have there's going to be times where you're going to be acting as the team. There's going to be downtime regardless of just how busy you are with the Twilight stuff.
Oh, I understand. I get it. Like, even if she's around in the base, I still think she'd be training.
Okay.
Like, whether it's like forms or meditating, or because I just imagine like she has to stretch a part of her that either she hasn't in a long time or she's never. So she will be MIA for the most part.
Okay, so that actually brings up a good topic: is advancements. Okay, so we'll do the first advancement each of you are going to take. Obviously, you've discussed that one, but we'll do it in the usual order. So we'll start with Jim.
Oh, hi.
What is Skylar? Oh, but out of curiosity, in the 6 months, because I will allow this, are you going to change your name?
That was an interesting question. I was trying to figure out if a thing has happened that might make him do the switch.
Sure. I mean, if you want to think of something that would have happened to have made that switch, we can flesh that out.
I feel like there needs to be something where, in order for the switch to happen, he needs to have to do something that will want him to make him want to kind of. So it's a twofold thing: getting past the whole messing with people on the on the web thing, on the net thing is like that's one aspect of what he does, but and it's not something I'm saying he would stop doing, but it would be actually broadening his mandate to trying to make sure that everyone is protected. And so I can see things potentially happening that would cause him to want to because I mean that's what he wants anyway, is to make sure that everyone's protected. But the idea that it seems like there's something there, and even stuff we've been discussing here about that some folks are getting persecuted, or that there is like a or folks with abilities are getting persecuted in the media and what have you, and it's something where it's like there needs to be safety for everyone.
It's entirely possible that in the chaos of the Centennial Parade, you very much took on the role of basically making sure all the civilians in the area were getting to safety.
Yeah. So like maybe there's a like a thing where he's started setting up a series of. I'm trying. It's there's. I mean, it's like there has to be a thing, right? So it's like maybe there's like he's started setting up a series of his own drones or something to try to and so it's like so that he can kind of know and identify safe areas and sort of be like, okay, we need to get on top of this, and he actually will.
Kind of like the Seven Dwarfs in Agents of
Kind of, yeah, kind of, yeah.
Jim, here's if I could, I've got a thought for you. He ends in an emergency like that, in a crowd where you've got a crowd of civilians. There's danger to an area or a lot of people. He essentially becomes dispatch, the clearinghouse, 911. Everything. Yeah. He takes control of all of the cameras, all of that kind of stuff, and coordinates the response.
Yeah,
kind of building on what you did at Moore's.
Yes.
Press conference where you took over those drones and changed their displays to direct people. You kind of taken that and built on it.
Yeah. So yeah, basically I think it's like in the wake of so I think, and I can't remember what happened at the parade.
That was the Infernals showed up.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah.
And basically, well, one of the things that I think the thing with the float would have been Ventus using his power over wind to animate one of the floats.
Oh yeah.
To actually, causing havoc, while the other two did other stuff to cause chaos. Awesome. And basically, you, while other people would have fought them, you were on literally crowd control.
Okay. Cool. So I think that would have been something that happened kind of in the wake of like not too long prior to that. He'd probably been having a rough time dealing with certain things where it was like where his null identity was getting kind of just sort of pounded by the what's it, Carlton and other folks.
His big thing with you is what use are you?
Yeah, well, exactly.
As Null was like, what use are you? Because it's obvious that Puck can do stuff with computers.
Yeah. Yeah.
This, that, and the other.
And so I think that I think that so in the wake of like that, and in the wake of like needing to just for whatever reason also needing to drop it, I think that then he would switch to the new name that I sent you, which I don't know if we want to reveal now or not. But
It's up to you. We can either do it as a thing on the stream next week, or we can do it now. It's entirely up to you.
I'm good with here's the I guess the question is would this be a thing that would be done if we did it hypothetically next week? Would it be close to the beginning of the stream or toward the end of the stream?
It'd be close to the beginning.
Okay, in that case, I'd just assume do it this week.
Okay,
I think
cool.
probably. So the name that I picked out that Null is going to switch over to is Sanctum.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the.
Which I believe is the last of your four
is.
drives.
It is.
So you're going to need to pick a new batch. Okay, but what is your first advance going to be?
I think I'm going to take. I'm actually going to rearrange my labels and add +1 as I choose and add +1 to a label. So that I can sort of reset the things where I want to put them partially, but then also
What? So you can get some more mundane that people keep taking away from you.
yes.
Yeah, really.
This needs to work, damn it.
No, he's not mundane. He's amazing.
Okay, what about Puck? You said something earlier about something you were thinking about.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking for my advancement. I can take a move from another playbook,
Yep.
and the protege has the hit the files.
Oh yeah, hit the files.
And I was thinking,
Yeah.
in between, now we know what Puck is doing with the Robin Goodfellow initiative, working with more, but also just how close they are becoming with Ezekiel over the 6 months. I think that they're beginning to pick up some habits from him, like doing a little bit more diligent about research. Maybe they're not spending all day lounging about. Maybe they're actually like getting up before noon. Unless
Or
Stitcher calls for it.
if you're not getting up, you're lying in bed with your tablet.
Yeah.
So it's 11:30 now, and now Puck is getting up because that would be before noon.
That sounds like
Yeah. But they've been awake
11:45.
for a while, running through the tablet with all the files and doing the research.
I mean, the best excuse is it's always before noon somewhere.
Right?
Okay, cool. What and you said something as well for Metal Warp, which was the bull's heart. Yeah.
Yep. And Warp is taking the bull's heart.
And I'm guessing. Okay, I'm just going to take a guess. Tell me if I'm correct.
Okay.
It's Sanctum and Nihilin.
That's it.
Right.
And taking Defender.
Oh, right. That'll be the second one.
Yep. That's
Okay.
part of.
Oh no, the roll.
Right. That's the role that they're taking is Defender.
Okay, I just accidentally spelled that Nihilin. Okay, Phobos.
So it's actually going to be the same thing that MetaWarp did. He's taking from the Bull's playbook is the Bull's heart. And the person, of course, love is Puck, but the rival he has is Dana.
Is that on your list?
Yes, because as one of my investments, I get to take a move from another playbook.
That's not a move.
Oh, that isn't a move. Oh.
No. Sorry.
Oh. Okay, then I read it wrong. Okay.
You know how you've got the whole mentor /
Yeah.
mentor's resources? It's like that. It's not actually a move.
Oh. Okay.
And
Because
certain playbooks have like certain ones. So
Yeah.
reform-
Okay.
It's like Twilight's audience isn't a move. It's a special
Okay.
aspect of the
Then
playbook.
in that case, then I have the other one that I was looking at also was taking it from the legacy moves. Was
One.
the which one was it again? The fight the good fight. When you directly,
the first one.
When you directly engage a threat in
you can roll plus savior
instead of danger. Because it's pretty much in my mind is that he's been letting go of that anger that he has towards more big time. And all this time he's been trying his best to deny the fact that, even though Moore is showy, he's always in the limelight, he's still doing good stuff. He always has been doing good stuff. And he's going like, I can still be like the person I want to be, but I can also be like him because I can be a little bit of myself and a little bit of him. And that also goes into what we discussed of a little bit of a look change for him.
Cool. I'll let you describe that next week.
Yeah, next week.
But I think fight the good fight, in my opinion, makes a very good pick for bonus.
Because he's now realizing that he's not going to take over for Midnight. He's 100%. He doesn't want to be the next Midnight, but he wants to. He wants to be a good representative of who Midnight is and everything he stands for.
Very cool.
He doesn't want to go up against the grain anymore.
Okay, and Twilight.
I am going to take become a part of a larger superhero tradition.
Legacy.
Take a legacy. Since I'm already a legacy.
Okay, we'll deal with the details of that during the week, I think.
Cool, because I have some questions and need to bounce ideas off of someone.
Okay, we'll do the second ones. I mean, if you don't have one yet, that's cool. We can announce those at the beginning of next week. As long as we've got them before we actually start playing again, that's cool. Did you have a second one for Sanctum?
So, I mean, there are a couple of possibilities that I kind of wanted a little help choosing, I guess, because I was thinking of just going ahead and taking my second beacon move. Fourth beacon move, second advancement using a beacon move, so this will be the last time I can take a beacon move. And so I was thinking of either getting Won't Let You Down, which is, when you help a teammate, you can spend 2 out of the team pool to add +2 to their roll. Or I was thinking of taking, because we were talking about the drones, I was thinking about taking Come On Lucky.
I think that really fits, and that would also bring a very good reason for the narrative of the drones and all that sort of stuff on a mechanical level.
Yeah. So basically, choose 3 basic moves and tell the GM how it helps you with those moves.
Well, I can imagine defend.
Yeah.
It would definitely help with.
Yeah, probably. I need to pull up the moves again.
Okay, well, the basic moves are directly engage a threat, unleash your powers, comfort or support, pierce the mask, defend, assess the situation, provoke someone, take a powerful blow. I definitely see defend, assess the situation.
Yeah,
being
directly engage a threat.
Either that or unleashing your powers, given that some of your powers are digital based.
That sounds interesting because just simply based on a couple of things.
I mean, you can even argue with the take a powerful blow that the little drones basically fly towards you and form some sort of shield.
That's interesting.
But you don't want to add to your dice on that one.
That's true. We might want to.
Yeah, because it would allow you to add 1 to your moves. They'd make it more like they'd be the robot helpers that Iron Man has in Iron Man in the films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could also see an argument for Pierce the Mask, just because it's like they get in and get more information about them.
Scanning, yeah.
Yeah. So
I definitely.
can
I mean, it's going to be your choice, but I
Yeah.
definitely think assess the situation and defend
yeah.
are
I
going to
agree.
be big ones.
Yeah. So
For the third one, directly engage a threat, unleash your powers. It depends how you want to go. I mean, if you want to go full on Sanctum, I imagine it's going to be less of a aggressive edition, but having like tasers or little,
yeah.
type things on the drones for directly engage a threat could also work.
Yeah. It's can I think about it? Would that be
Yes,
all right?
yes, you can definitely think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But you're going to go with what was it called again? It's Come On Lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
You're going to have to come up with a name for the drones as well.
Yeah. Probably.
Ooh.
I will. I will work on that.
And yeah, at least as a group.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Huey, Dewey, Louie.
I'm going to go. I'm going to take a non-Disney name. I just want to announce that up front.
That's fair.
That's fair. That's totally
fair.
fair.
Yeah.
That's totally
Yeah.
fair.
But I'll figure it out. And as to whether I name them individually, I think I probably will end up naming them individually one sooner or later. But I'll probably I'll figure out the group name first. And
I'll go with the Mystery Machine.
oh my god. I'm also not going to take a Hanna-Barbera name. I'm just going to specify that also up front.
Just because you know that Scrappy would be the drone that got into trouble all the time.
Probably, yeah.
Yep.
I'll think of something.
Okay, Puck, do you have an idea for a second advancement?
I do. I can take a move from the Delinquent playbook, and I was looking at the Troublemaker move. When you help a teammate through destructive, criminal, or rule-breaking actions, you give them a +2 instead of a +1 when you spend team from the pool.
Excellent. So basically, when you do something naughty, it helps a lot.
Yes.
Well, that makes it sound wrong when you put it.
That's pretty good though.
When you're good, you're good, but when you're bad, you're very good.
Exactly.
I do love that quote. Okay, that sounds awesome. Okay, so what about Metal Warp? Do we have a second one?
Yes, gonna take 3 more flares.
3 more flares.
Yeah. And
Wow, that's wow.
Yeah. A lot of choices now with flares. I mean, it still only has 3 burn max on a hit, but
But your flexibility goes up because at the moment you've got shielding, boost,
constructs. I think I have. Do I have constructs? Yep.
I don't think so.
I have.
I think you.
Yep. I have reality storm, shielding, boost, overcharge, moat, constructs, and snatch.
So pretty much you now have all of them.
Yeah, I have all my
Okay,
flares.
cool. Because you've taken that one before, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you now have all the flares.
All the flares.
All of the flares.
Yeah. Going back to what we were saying earlier, if you look at the Nova playbook, there are no such thing as Nova moves. It's all out of that burn special set. So, when you get the whole, take a move from another playbook, you can't take anything from the Nova because they don't have moves. Okay, that's cool. Okay, Phobos.
So in the whole thing where he's letting go of his anger, he's learning about, friendship from everyone, learning about love and affection from Puck. He is learning how to just be a comforting, supportive person in general. And that's why I'm taking 2 to the label your mentor embodies or denies. And more denies mundane. So his mundane is now 3.
Oh, wow.
That's a big.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a big advance because
Yeah.
not only that, it's made your overall total a lot higher as well.
Yeah,
You didn't
it
have to
has.
lower anything for that.
Yeah. Like,
Okay, and
yeah.
Twilight.
Yes.
Do we have a second advancement?
Yes. I'm going to take a move from another playbook. And I'm going to take Words of the Past from the Legacy playbook, which when you seek the guidance of one of the elder members of your legacy, tell them a problem you face and ask them a question about the problem. They will answer it truthfully and tell you what to do. Take a +1 ongoing if you listen. If you go your own way, you mark potential.
Okay, cool.
Which is a stupid powerful move. Because it's an ongoing +1 to doing what they say, so. Instead of just a +1 forward.
Yeah, well, it's only when it's dealing with that specific thing, but yeah, it is quite powerful. Okay, cool. So we've got your advancements done. We've gotten a load of stuff about the city fleshed out, which is going to be fun. I've let a little bit of information flow through. A couple of the bits and pieces of information I let out today was planned from the very beginning, from when I did the original session 0 plan. Yeah, actually slightly before. I mean, it came out in that session 0 because if you remember, I read that history of New Eden.
Yeah, you did.
And there's something in it slightly to do with something I said tonight.
Hmm.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, I guess I'm going back and listening to that episode.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think that's where we'll wrap it up. We'll probably have lots of conversations on Discord and stuff because, we always do.
I do have one quick question.
Yes.
For Wally. Have Puck and Zeke moved into the same subway car yet, do you think?
That's too serious. This is the man that jumped off of a roof.
See, here's the thing is, so for him, he doesn't view it as a step in the relationship. He views it as more of a utilitarian thing because he's noticed that Puck has been doing a lot of his mannerisms of studying files and everything. So he's all like, if you want, you can just stay in my room. I have easier access to files. You still have your room, but you can come into my room whenever you want and stay as long as you want. Kind of situation.
The way I imagine it is you both ended up living in the same room, but it's not an official, we've moved in together. The other room is still there.
It's like when you would take a stray cat and you just like start leaving out food, and before you know it, the cat has a cat tree and a litter box and is sleeping on your lap.
I think what it is one on.
That's a really good way of describing Playboss.
Yeah, on any given night, one of them falls asleep in the other's room.
Yeah, like he doesn't mind if it happens.
It just happens a lot.
I mean, I've been there in the past, where it's nothing official's been said, but you've ended up living together.
Yeah, to him, it's like if Puck isn't around all the time, it's just kind of like a weird. It's like a weird thing if they're not there all the time.
Oh,
he really enjoys them being around, and he finds it odd when they're not around. Like he enjoys his time and space, but if he doesn't see them at least once he enters his room,
Ooh.
And you've got a robot. I think Zoom's struggling with all the people.
Yeah,
that are
Zoom is
using it at the
struggling
moment.
right now.
Oh, I robot. I think, yeah.
Because I had a complaint earlier, and I haven't had any internet issues because the infrastructure for the internet over here is a little bit better than the infrastructure in the States. Just because of sheer distances you've got to cover in the States and all that sort of stuff. But
I think just Zoom is getting super bottlenecked lately.
Well, yeah, it's because so many more people are using Zoom for this, that, and the other at the moment. But yeah, okay, so I guess it's instead of favorite moment of the night, I want to know the question you want the answer to in Volume 2 as part of your outro stuff.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a good. It's a good question. What is the question? I mean,
it's always good to answer a question with a question. That's exactly what I want you to do.
Yeah. I think I mean, of the things that we've been talking about tonight, I kind of.
Well, it doesn't just have to be tonight. It can be stuff from Volume 1 as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of questions that I have, and so I think that. One thing happened for me tonight, but that happened tonight, and I'm going to actually not call out that one because I think someone else is going to call out that one. So I'm going to say I want to know what. I kind of want to know if there is something still going on in the background with the supremacy and what the actual deal is. That's what I'd like to know, if at all possible.
That's a good one.
And I guess we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and do our just keep going around asking folks if they I think Molly, you're still in control of this part of it because this is still the.
I was saying doing that instead of the
final
of the night,
favorite moment
the
of
whole
the night.
outro part.
So should we? Yeah,
we normally do that as part of the outros.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and do our outros then. And we'll as part of it we'll do that. Yes, good. Okay. Where am I? Why am I? What's happening?
Who's on first?
Okay. Who's on
first?
What's on second?
They probably are. All right, let's go around. I will go ahead and I will start with Thtrnerd then.
Hi. My name's Thtrnerd, and I don't really have a question I want answered because pretty much the only thing I was concerned about was my character's parents. But I have a request. I would like a love interest. Okay, thanks. I really would like Klika to be a thing or Malin. I haven't quite decided what ship name is better on that one. If somebody has another option that I didn't think of, let me know. I really want them to be a thing. That is all. Oh, I'm supposed to tell people where you can find me.
Yes.
Really, the best place to find me is on Twitter. I try to tweet about all the things I'm in. The next time you will see me is on Monday running a Blades in the Dark campaign. And yeah.
Awesome.
But otherwise, watch Twitter because I'll be back here on Wednesday, and I play Call of Cthulhu the alternating Mondays to me running Blades in the Dark. So there you go. That's me.
Yay! Awesome. And let's go ahead and head over to Wally.
Oh, I am Wally. Go by he, him. I think it's kind of a weird question because it's something that kind of brought up now that we talked about how this wasn't just a thing where teenagers this is like a long-standing thing where teenagers were taken in off the streets and had their powers woken up in them. And just kind of like going by his background, I'm thinking where did Phobos get his powers from? Where did he get his powers from, kind of thing? And that kind of because like it's such an offensive power. Like, why does he have that power? Like, where did it come from? So it's something I just thought about. I was like wondering what if that would ever get answered. But yeah,
I'd also like to point out that it's also the power. It's pretty much the one power in the entire group that has not actually been used yet.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it was something he's always been trying to like keep on the down low because he's kind of ashamed of it.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I just find
Yeah.
it interesting. Yeah, you have the entire
Yeah.
group. Everybody's used pretty much every power they've got, except that one.
Yeah, because it's a thing he's very ashamed of, kind of thing, and I'm wondering, like, and that makes me wonder, like, where did he get it from, and why would he be so ashamed of it? But yeah, that's one question I'd definitely like to see answered.
Awesome. And where can folks find you?
You can definitely find me on the Twitters at Wally132. I'm always talking about random stuff and posting memes. So yeah, you can find me there.
Yay. Awesome, awesome. And now let us head over to Pepper.
Hello, hello. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Pepper. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at maybe them4815 for some quality shit posts. And daily life is a Starbucks barista. And my big question is kind of like a string of questions. What's going on with Puck's family back in Louisiana? Do they know that Puck's a hero? Do they even care? Like Puck's, I'm pretty sure in between everything going on with Moore and the communication available, that they're kind of famous at this point. So, like, does their family even care about them anymore?
That's true.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. It's very curious. Yeah. No, that'd be good to know. And let's head over to Kat. Who is muted?
Yeah, professional streamer, guys. I'm going to do this at least once every day. My name is Kat. I am at Clark of Cord. That's where you can find me on Twitter. I play games on the internet with my friends. The next place you can find me is tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern. Yeah, no, 11:30 Pacific. Whatever it is, Eastern time, 7:30 UK, as we start session 1 of Shadowrun, 6th edition, over on the Lawful Geeks channel.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm playing a street shaman by the name of Nico.
Nice.
And I am really looking forward to it. It looks like it's going to be a really good campaign. We've got some good people. So come check it out. Then what have I got going? Friday, Jim. Do you want me
Yes.
to do you want to do it?
I can do it, or if you want to reveal what it is, you may certainly do so.
Friday, y'all might want to show up because Jim and I are doing something, and I'll let him tell exactly what we're doing. But it does involve Chris and Skylar.
You want to. You want
Yeah.
to.
You want to show up. So much going on. Next week, Prax Deidre Donlin. Check out her Twitch channel Tuesdays through Fridays. She is doing live reads of plays. Tomorrow is Julius Caesar. Friday is Antony and Cleopatra. Next week, I will be either Tuesday and or Wednesday. I don't know what plays we're doing yet, but I will be there 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's a lot of fun. We're having so much fun. We did Phaedra on Tuesday. So if you like that, check it out. If you can't be there, watch the VODs because it's really good stuff. Watching Laugh Love Lindy, who has never read Othello or does not know the story of who Desdemona is, discover what happens to Desdemona as she's reading the play.
Oh, honey.
Is just an adventure in facial expressions. So it's a lot of good. There are a lot of good people from all over the Twitch sphere that are taking part in this, and I cannot emphasize enough how wonderful every episode has been. It's so good. Richard III just blew me away. Simon from Outwandering DM just and watching everybody try to be 63 Dukes.
There were so many characters.
Jim talking to himself is always a treat because Jim always ends up talking to himself, and it's a treat. It is a treat. So come do that. That's me. I have a pinned tweet. Check it out. What do I want to know? I want to know what's up with Mom.
Yeah.
I want to know what she and Ronan were talking about at the planetarium back in season 1. I want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I put together with the stars. I get that, but Mom's. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and that's me.
And before I go to Mole, I am actually going to cheat and ask a second question because I just realized because it's my stream and I can do that.
Yeah,
I
I
realized
haven't promised any answers, so
that's true. We don't have answers. We haven't actually seen. We've mentioned her a few times. We haven't seen Skylar's twin sister Sheila yet. He sent a message to her toward the end, and I am kind of curious if their relationship has changed at all. Now that he's sort of leaned harder into the superhero thing, if she still doesn't approve or if she's coming around. Also, she's like as good a hacker as he is, so I have to wonder if she's been isolated and driven into other things.
I tell you what, I'm actually going to give you the answer to that.
Ooh.
She provided the firmware for your drones.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's how she's trying to keep me safe.
Yeah.
Excellent. That works. That's awesome.
Yeah, you've got your habit is you're able to get into places a lot easier, whereas it's very rare that you find a mistake in her code.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very good. Awesome. Yeah, and she's actually on the side of sort of been saying this. She's really the one who should inherit the company. And she's also kind of interested in doing that, but that's it's where things go. Awesome. So let us then ask Mole. Where can folks find you, and what do you want to know?
Yeah, I'm Mole/@MoleThulu in all the places. Well, not all the places, but the usual
Everywhere.
places.
Everywhere.
The Usual Suspects. It's a great movie. Yes, that's basically follow me on Twitter. That's where you're going to find out the information, and you'll get my tweets are equal parts retweeting social justice related stuff, talking about my daughter, talking about role playing games. That's pretty much what I do.
Solid.
But yeah, my thing that I want to find out is basically if anyone figures it out before we get there, because I have been dropping clues.
I'm watching all the episodes. Where can I get them, Jim?
Yep.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, a couple of things have been caught. People have caught on to a couple of things. I'm not going to say who, and I'm not going to say what. No, I'm not going to necessarily say whether it was tonight or another session.
Next time you see us, we're all going to have cork boards with strings and pins.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to do magnets on my fridge.
Conspiracy.
I would love
Like
a
that.
website which allows you to make those.
Oh yeah.
There is one. I will let you know in Discord.
Because I'm going to need one for the Aegis game. Because you literally have to effectively create a conspiracy board to run that playset.
Oof. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Very cool. I'm sorry. Was there anything else?
Volume 2 starts next week.
Yay!
Bye, two.
Hopefully.
With any luck.
If the world's still turning.
Yes. Provided that we are still here.
Thank you.
I for one plan to go down streaming because that's where I am in life.
Not screaming. You said streaming.
I did say streaming. Just to be specified, I plan to go down streaming. As for me, once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at Otherdoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. Friday on this channel, about 5 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a thing. Kat and I will do a thing where we will be taking our characters, Chris and Skylar, and we will be playing a game of Star-Crossed.
Okay.
So that we can find out what happens in their relationship.
Ooh. That's going to be fun.
Now that we know more of the context, I think it's going to be nuts.
What happened in those 80 days?
Yes, exactly. We're also going to be...
Incredible, given what we've just decided has happened.
Yes, we have a heck of a context. Also, we're going to have on hand my friend Dave, who shows up on a lot of off-the-table stuff and who has experience with the online version of Star-Crossed and will be coming in kind of helping referee us through it. And so he is very graciously agreed to join us for it, so we shall be doing that.
I shall try and be in the chat so I can answer any questions you might have.
Cool, awesome, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it might help if there might be some world stuff that might come into play. I don't know.
There is a chance. There is entirely a chance of that. But I'm really looking forward to that. Also, Dave has been jamming masks on a couple of different channels for quite a while, and so he's very much a fan of that game, of the genre and that game as well. So that's going to be cool. Also then, as for the rest of the schedule, Saturday evening, we have our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. On Sunday, the one shot we're going to do is Hidden Qualities. That is a game that I wrote that we're going to be doing a play test of. The sort of the more recent iteration. And that's basically a game. It's a story game, GM-less, about working with people in space, and just sort of how that changes you when you're basically stuck over a very long period of time working with someone in a confined space, and how you adjust to deal with your coworkers. And so just an interesting sort of little psychological thing. I thought we'd play sad games in space, basically. Then Sunday night, more space, as our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw, continues. That's Ghosts of Saltmarsh in space. It's been very cool. We've just evacuated a bunch of lizard folk off a planet that is being plagued by brainworms. Only to find out that they're trying to knock another hole in the universe. Their enemies, a nearby group of Sahuagin, of whom there are over 3,000, are apparently trying to, in their desperation to survive, open a new maw in an atmosphere, which is not good. That's really not good. So we got to figure out what we're going to do about that. On Tuesday afternoon, we are continuing our short campaign of Alas Vegas, and the next dealer is going to be James. He's going to assume the mantle, and we will be playing through Act 3 of that. We've already figured out our characters are in hell, and we're gonna kind of see what happens as we continue through the twisted Vegas-like landscape. And of course, Tuesday night, that evening, is when we are starting our April mini campaign, as the two are getting stacked on top of each other. April mini campaign of Monster of the Week. We're gonna get that going, and try to do a bunch of world building first session. Basically, what I always do with these: world building first, and then the last three are the arc, and we sort of see what happens. And then, of course, that brings us back to Wednesday night, when we shall have with any luck, more of this, provided the world still turns. So
I'm going to leave my Monster of the Week comment until we're off air.
It's a thing. It's a thing. There, but that is what is happening. Sign-ups right now are still open for the Sprawl, which is a short campaign that will be starting on in mid-April, and that Brian's going to be coming in and guest emceeing. That's a cyberpunk game. And I'm going to get more sign-ups for more things open soon. As always, beginners are more than welcome. So when we hit the end card, I am going to send a raid over to Off the Table. They're doing a sort of a talk/design show that they have over there called Drinks and Design. And so we're going to go over there and say hi to them. Feel free, if you so desire, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching us. Take care, and with any luck, we will see you next week. Farewell.